Guys, nice and clear. Okie dokie. Yay, Glenda, what's up? All right. Awesome.
Hello.
We are going to get cracking on.
Hi, good afternoon.
Good afternoon. I see Jaylon driving and joining the Zoom. Awesome, you guys. Congratulations on being here. We have a power-packed session, day 2 of day 5. And I can assure you, the stuff that we're going to cover today, you haven't heard or seen this stuff in a long, long time, okay? I'm telling you this because I have spent a lot of time putting this information together to help you guys. And I'm just ready to crack on. So with that being said, I'm going to just do a double check on my team. Is Cyan here, our coaching client expert? Where's Cyan? Let's see. Hey, Cyan. Hey, Cyan.
Hey, cool.
Nice to see you. Cyan is running around. And so Cyan, just maybe chime in for a few minutes whilst everyone else is joining. This is day 2, by the way. Yesterday, we covered mindset of $1 million entrepreneur. Today, we're going to be talking about funnels. I'm going to show behind the scenes of my funnels. So since you are working with our clients, especially our 50K, 100K clients, why don't you share some of your background and what is it that you do?
Awesome, man. So great to be here. I've been working with Shaqir for quite a while, and I've been working with him. I take up stuff from people's minds and try to put it into a form of a messaging which the market can understand. It's like transforming what you have in your brain and bring it out in the world so that people can process it and buy it. So like joining Shaqir and working with him for quite some time. And I primarily help in doing that. And I also help in using organic strategies with the right messaging. Like get up to your first 6-figure mark just with organic marketing without running ads and using the power of the right messaging and helping you guys get 6 figures per month. Now, I don't know how many of you would actually want to have that kind of scenario where you don't have to pay for ads, but you can just use organic traffic to make your first 6K months. Like you can start off with almost zero investment and just use organic traffic and get all your, hit your goals of 6-figure months.
Absolutely, man. I'm excited. I'm excited that you're here and that you're helping our clients. Is Ronald here right now?
Yeah, but I'm here.
Hey, Ronald. Everyone give Ronald a big wave.
I can see everyone. Yes, many faces from the Facebook group.
Nice. Ronald has been with us for a number of years. Ronald, if you can just introduce yourself as well, and let's go from there.
Yeah, so my name is Ronald. As Shaq said, I have many years with Shaq already. We've been working on so many funnels, so many projects, so many niches that basically we have every single formula for those niches dialed in, of which right now it's kind of like plug and play. But what I would recommend you guys from the challenge is take one thing as takeaway is put in action exactly what you guys are being given in the PDFs and share the PDFs with us because it gives us an insight how we can guide you guys, what clarity can we give you guys, and also what's going to be the action plan for you guys to execute on. And therefore, again, I recommend you guys have a look at the audit call so you guys can schedule a call with us. We can go into your stuff. And again, I can share more about my background, my insight on building funnels and helping Shaq scale many different businesses as well. And then we can apply that for you guys as well in like a mini version. So you guys can get a step ahead as well of the game.
Nice. And Ronald, why don't you share the number one success factor, because you've been working with us for the last 8 years, that people have when it comes to succeeding online?
The one thing I would recommend you guys, and I said at the beginning, is take action. But the one thing that I noticed that throughout all the years with many different programs, many different events that we did, the thing that keeps most people behind is the confidence to move forward. And if you guys think carefully, the confidence to move forward with whatever you're given as a task to do is because you're fearful of what is going to happen. You're fearful of success. You're fearful that you don't know enough. You're fearful of what exactly do you need to say, etc. So the only way to get over that, the only way to overcome that fear is by practicing the information, researching about it, just getting things done without looking for perfection. That's how you not only sell your offer, sell your idea, but then you can scale and grow the business, hiring other people, then delegating to them. That's the only way of seeing people get success. when people get stuck on their mindset, that's when things just stall and things never go forward.
Absolutely. So I really appreciate that, Ronald. I am going to get cracking on. We do have a couple of special guests joining us. And today, because you guys are here, I am going to cover, like yesterday was all about mindset, right? Because if you don't have your mindset in order, then there's probably a lot of devils going on inside of your head that's holding you back. How many of you would agree to that? Okay, now, the reason why you may think, yeah, but I don't need any mindset help, or I already know this. I can tell you this right now. I am someone that's always working. My team, everyone around me has to work on the mindset. If you look at the last 5 years, and if you, like I said before, if you haven't grown, whether it's spiritually, mentally, emotionally, physically, financially, in your investing career, okay, I still come across people and they will tell me, is Bitcoin a scam? And I'm like, yo, maybe a bit 5 years too late. Or they'll tell me, can you still make money on the internet? And I'm like, oh my gosh, like they literally think that stuff like Facebook and YouTube is a scam. And I'm like, I can't help you because that person is way too far out. Does that make sense? So what you have to realize is that it's not that people are smarter than you, it's that their mindset is operating in a different place. Does that make sense? So for you, when I'm sharing the mindset stuff, I learned from my mentor early on, and you want to write this down because this is a writer downer. Every level has another devil, and you have to get bigger than the devil that's coming. Every single level. Go, and you've never made $20,000 a month. Go make $20,000 a month and see some of your friends and family. I remember when I started making money out of nowhere, people, my like long distance family members that I haven't spoken for 5-10 years, they start calling my mom up. My mom is a very sweet lady, God bless her. Okay. And she would basically pick up the phone, and these people would say, hey, we see Shaqir doing all of these things on the internet and it's great. Is there any chance you can lend us some money? Is there any chance you can do this? And these are people. So let me tell you this, when you start making money, I'm not calling family members devils, but I'm just saying these are different levels. Some people, it's like when you start making lots of money, millions and millions of dollars, you have to worry about now who wants to come and sue you. When you're broke, you don't have these problems. Does that make sense? Okay. But when you're rich, then you start having rich man problems. Let me tell you this, I've been rich and I've been poor, and I'll take the rich man problems any day. Who's with me? Okay. Because if you have money, money doesn't solve everything in life, but money solves a lot of issues. Okay. Especially the stuff that holds you back when it comes to making money. So with that being said, I'm going to just jump onto my slides over here. And Mikey, if you can jump over here and help me with the slides. Yep. Okay, cool. And then just keep accepting here. Okay, cool. So we have 100+ people live. If you're here right now, please make sure that you stay till the end. Number one reason is if you miss this, then I don't know if you can get back in the class. Okay, so keep that in mind. Number two is we have so much content. What I've decided to do, okay, I shared with you this week, I'm going to give away over $30,000 of prizes. I'm going to put some cash prizes in, some courses. Even one person is going to get a one-on-one call with me, which I never almost do. But I'm going to do that for someone lucky enough to be here. So if you're just joining us, make sure that you turn your video on. So if you just joined us, I need you guys to turn your video on. If you want to remain part of this group, you need to turn your video on and give us a wave. If you already have your video, that's great. Give us a wave. Let's see. Okay. So who do we have here? Garrett McKay, Eva Rockledge. How are you guys? Landon, good to see you again. Abid Khan, what's up? Okay, guys, I'm excited. So if you're just joining us, please make sure you turn your camera on. We have over 112 people live just on here. How many people do we have on the Facebook? We're going to have another Facebook group. So if you're watching this on the Facebook group or on Zoom, turn your camera on so I can see you guys. Okie dokie. All right. So Excuse me, Mikey. Where am I going to share my screen on the slides? So just here and then this, right?
Yeah.
And then, okay, cool. Okay, dokie. So can everyone see my screen right now? Yes, okay. So let's get cracking on because today I'm going to share with you seven secrets of converting strangers into paying clients. The reason why you may feel stuck in your business, in your life, is because this is a skill that you may have not developed yet. And what is that skill? It's the skill of generating customers. Write this down. If you know how to generate customers, you will never worry about money ever again. How many of you would love to never worry about money ever again? By a show of hands. How many of you wish, man, if I have this skill of getting customers, I can make money for the rest of my life? By a show of hands. Let me tell you this. The reason why I know this is because when I got started, I dropped out of university, friends and family laughing at me. I was like, man, what should I do? Should I do e-commerce, eBay? Should I do drop shipping? Should I do Amazon? Should I do courses, coaching, consulting? Should I host live events? And I'm telling you, because after 13 years, I've done it all. I've done physical products, online services. So I'm going to share with you what I believe to be the ultimate business models, specifically for people that have less than $1 million cash. Okay. So if you say to me, hey, I've got more than $1 million cash, then I'd say, hey, now I can recommend other business models. Maybe software, maybe SaaS, different things. But as of now, from what we've seen and the surveys that we've put out, if you have less than $1 million cash, your first goal is to get to 100K, then to 500K, then to $1 million. Are we all on the same page, by the way? Okay, and I'm talking about this is cash in the bank saved. Why? Because right now, lots of things is happening. Yesterday I discussed, I'm not going to go too deep into it, but because of this recession, because of inflation, all of this stuff, making just a few $1,000s a month is not going to be enough. You gotta focus on being rich. And even, how many of you are big dreamers here? Focus on making your first $10 million. Okay, that's what I've identified. You know, these days, if you wanted to buy a house, it will cost you $1 million. If you wanted to buy, if you have friends and family and loved ones and you want to give back to them, or you have elderly parents or people that you look after, or you want to look after, or if you don't even have that, but you want to do charitable work. Any charity givers here want to do more charity work? Anyone? Do I only see 2 people raise their hand? What the heck is going on? Okay. Anyone want to make lots of money so that they can actually help more charities? Yeah. Okay. Now that's more like it. Now here's the thing about helping charities. It's all good, great, and it's amazing, but you want to first start off helping yourself. Okay. I believe in you must help yourself before you can start helping other people. I got rich early on, and I got very rich before I started thinking to myself, oh, let me go and help out all of my friends and family members. Okay. Because you do not want to have, you want to be in a different energy, in a different mastermind mentality when you're going out. You have to leave some of the old stuff behind so that you can reinvent yourself. And when you do this, that's where the true gems, that's where the true breakthroughs come from. So 7 secrets of converting strangers into paying clients. When I understood this, and I'm going to share with you formulas, funnels. Yesterday we covered mindset. Today it's going to be tactical things. And the reason why you want to do this is because this will give you the ability to always generate money. And let me tell you this, sometimes what happens in life is you can make a lot of money and then you can also lose a lot of money. Who's ever lost some money in their life? Okay. Early on in my career, I remember I had made around $200,000. Okay. And when I had made $200,000, I was around 22 years old. I had really bad habits. So I had bad spending habits, and I would go out with friends and family, and I would just always spend. I had no clue about investing or saving or whatever. And I remember one day I had made some bad financial decisions and I had lost that money. And my best friend at the time, he said to me, you know, what are you going to do right now that you've lost all this money? And I think he didn't mean it, but I think he was saying, are you going to look for a job? And my response to him was, I still have the skills. Do you guys get that? Once you develop the skills, okay, so for us, we don't want to just like, I can give you funnels. Like I can give someone $1 million funnel, but that's just me giving you a system. But if you don't know how to go out and fish for yourself, then that success is going to be short-lived. Does that make sense? So I want to give you the fish, but I also want to teach you how to fish. And I remember early on when I was 22 years old, I said to myself, let me learn how to generate customers. And because of this ability, I can now launch different brands and businesses and generate customers. So today I'm going to share with you 7 secrets. And I'm going to share with you a concept called the Guru Funnels Sales Formula. Okay. And the way to exponentially grow your business using what we call sales funnels and Guru sales funnels in particular. And then I'm also going to share with you this concept of how to become a top earner in your industry. How do you go from 0 to having a list of subscribers? And then in that list of subscribers, I'm going to show you how to essentially sell stuff that they already want. I'm going to show you how to attract your dream clients, convert cold leads into premium priced customers. What happens when you can convert leads into premium priced customers? You will forever have a money-making system. And I'm going to share with you how you can use this to essentially market anything that you want. Okay, so anything that you want. And whilst I'm going to share this with you guys, I'm also going to make sure that you guys can see my screen. I'm going to show you how to create money-making digital assets that attract your perfect prospects whilst positioning you as a celebrity authority. Create a functional list-getting machine that pulls in prospects for you on autopilot. How to get sales funnels that acts as a dynamic marketing campaign that converts customers into sales. And I'm going to share with you 5, not 1 or 2. I've decided, I'm just going to take back the curtains, and I'm going to share with you 5 funnels that have generated $20 million in just 3 years. Anyone excited by this? I'm going to share with you. I'll go through the numbers. I'll do some Q&A if you have any questions. If you have any questions, you fire away. Ask me the questions. If you got whatever you want to ask me. And the $20 million that I'm going to share with you primarily came from these 2. Okay, so when I made my first $10 million, I got this award here, right, from ClickFunnels. And when I generated my first $10 million, I became a multi-millionaire liquid, and I made a lot of mistakes. Okay, I'll be the first to say I make a lot of mistakes. And when you get a mentor, you want to get a mentor that has made a lot of mistakes. Why? Because then you don't have to make those costly mistakes. Does that make sense? Remember yesterday's lesson, I talked about Russell Brunson. Who remembers that conversation? Okay, who remembers that 20? Okay, can you, Ismail, can you unmute Glenda? Let's hear the conversation from her.
Well, you were talking about that you made a sale to Russell Brunson and he ended up buying it, but you had also bought a course for him and you paid, I don't remember how much it was.
How much was it, guys?
Very
Who remembers
large.
how much it was? $25,000.
25,000. And you couldn't go to the one-on-one, and then he invited you in, and you were looking to pay up a lot more, which was more of, you would save something like $400,000 that you were going to go into it. And then when he talked to you, he convinced you or told you otherwise, how that really wasn't a good idea. And you actually ended up saving yourself that $400,000 instead of going into something that wasn't the right thing for you.
Yeah, absolutely. Did you guys get that? Okay, so basically I paid Russell Brunson $25,000. I got on a phone call with him for 1 hour, and I was about to make this $400,000 investment, and he basically said, stay away from me. Right? Now, I remember at the time, my assistant, okay, she was a lady in the UK, she was telling me to do this, right? And I remember putting the phone down and I thought, man, that was the best $25,000 that I spent. And so ask yourself, who do you take advice from right now? Because I can assure you, a lot of your thinking right now will come because of the advice that you're taking from the people around you. So welcome to the day 2 of the 5-day challenge funnel. And I'm going to share with you exactly how to create and set up the insides of a profitable sales funnels. I'm also going to share with you the day 2 worksheets. These are the worksheets that I go through when clients come to us. Sometimes we'll charge $7,500 to $15,000 for a 2-day workshop in London or in America or in Dubai or wherever. And people will come and spend 2 days, 3 days with us. And I go through this entire worksheet, okay? And this entire worksheet gives you the clarity and confidence to move forward with your ideas. How many of you would like to do this today? All right, because we're going to do it together, and you all have to make sure that you do this and then also put this worksheet inside of the group. So remember, commit and stay engaged in the group, post your assignments, make sure that you post your assignments and then leave at least 5 supporting comments. Ismail, Mikey, Marilyn, they're checking the comments, they're checking the Facebook group, so be sure. And I wanted to also say that, listen, if you haven't booked your, how many of you have booked your funnels audit call, just by a show of hands? Okay, let's see, raise your hand. Okay, how many of you haven't yet booked your call? Okay, so we've got about probably 30-40% of people that haven't booked their call. And so the reason why we want to do this is, even yesterday when we gave the homework, a lot of people said, hey, but I'm stuck on this. Hey, I don't know this. I don't know which funnel, or I don't know what to sell. How many of you are still unclear on what to sell? Let me make it even more clear. If you make less than $30,000 a month, there's a good chance you're not clear on what to sell. Does that make sense? Because it's called MVP, minimum viable product, and PMF, write this down. PMF stands for product market fit. If you make less than $30,000 a month, it's usually because you haven't got the product market fit just yet. So we want to ensure that happens. Okay, so if Ismail, if you can just put the link funnels.com/audit. Okay, and if you go to funnels.com/audit, you can basically take advantage of this. Also, if you're new here and you missed yesterday, don't worry, we're going to send you an email and a text message today where you can watch day 1 and get the homework from day 1. So a lot of people have been asking this to us. I get it. I'm with you guys. So we're good. Okay. And Ismail, if you can put a link and just put the HTTPS in front, that way it's a clickable link. Okay, cool. All right, so we're gonna do, I'm gonna just bring on one more person to share their biggest breakthrough from yesterday. Some people even found they were messaging me on my phone, they were messaging me on my Messenger, Facebook. So who's one person that wants to share their big breakthrough from yesterday? Okay. Let's pick on, I can't see your faces, let me see. Raise your hand if you wanna share your breakthrough from yesterday. Actually, let's do Abid. Abid is there. Ismail, if you can unmute Abid Khan, that'd be great. Yes, no? Ismail? Okay, Abid, you have to unmute yourself. Okay, so Cheryl says, I can't do it myself without your help. Thank you very much. Me and my team are here. Just know that you're in the right place and we're here to help you. Okay, by the way, if you can't unmute yourself, just write down your one big takeaway. So I'm going to move on very quickly, but I want to see at least, there's over 100 people here live. I want to see at least 50 people commenting what's been your big breakthrough from yesterday. What did you learn about? Did you learn about the fact that you have to do affirmations to create a new you? Did you realize that mindset is more important than skill set? I know plenty of smart, intelligent people, but they're broke. Today, a girl messaged me. She's a lady that has, I think, probably 4 different degrees, and she's struggling to make even an extra $2,000 a month. And I was just thinking, oh my gosh, you're so smart. How is it that you're struggling so much? So it's not even about your intelligence or your degrees. Okay, you need a coach to go further, faster. Every level has another devil. There you go. I need to change my mindset. I want to invest in myself. Mindset is everything. Get out of my own way. I need a mentor. In life, you either learn through mistakes or mentors. Think about your parents probably taught you XYZ. You don't just decide, Glenda, since you're right in front of my face here, you don't just decide, hey, I'm going to jump in this car today and I'm just going to drive. It doesn't work like that. From an early age, you have to have someone show you the ropes. Yes or no, everyone? Okay, so someone teaches you how to drive. Someone probably taught you how to cook. I watch YouTube videos to learn how to make good steaks. Okay, I practice. So every single thing, when you go to school, you learn scholastic education. When you go to college and university, you learn professional education. Let me ask you this question. Who's teaching you financial education? Nobody, right? And in my 20s, when I became a multimillionaire and I launched wealthacademy.com, I started teaching people the secrets of creating wealth. And in my 30s, I realized now, hey, listen, I can teach you 101 things about wealth creation, about mindset and all of this, or I can just give you a system that produces wealth. Does that make sense? How many of you want a system that produces wealth? And I can show you how to go from 1 million to $10 million and beyond. But here's what I realized. There are some people like the guy Rick over there. Some people have got 7 and 8 figures, but majority of people, they're struggling to make the first 100K to the first $1 million. Who's with me? Say I. And that's why I said, okay, you know what we have to do, team? We have to now give the fastest wealth creation system that I know, which is essentially the power of funnels. And so I'm going to share a few more. People are saying without mindset, you never have the motivation to change. Implementation over information, absolutely. Being resourceful to collect fees for investment. Garrett says, I have to become resourceful. Okay, investing money in myself, even if it seems too big of an investment. I told you guys, I shared with you yesterday, I hired multiple coaches and consultants, and I still hire them even now. Implementation equals income. Okay, cool. There's so many now. Okay, now that we've got this, one last time, if you're just joining us, we have a lot of people on. We've got 121 people. Woohoo! Okay, be sure funnels.com/audit. You want to take advantage of this. This is a call that's going to identify where you're at, what is your sticking point, and where do you want to get to. For example, someone messaged me today and they're interested in our $50,000 coaching package. I didn't even talk about it, but today they're interested, they're ready to pay. That person is very different to maybe you, where you're maybe making $5,000, $10,000 a month, and now you want to grow to the next level, right? So we're going to have different conversations and customize the solution for you. So please make sure that you go through this. With that being said, let's go. This is a handful of my team members, Ronald, Judy, Ismail, Mikey, Hamza, they're all here. So we're going to give away over $20,000 worth of prizes. Actually, it's $30,000 now. So be sure to stay engaged. And remember what I said yesterday, you gotta make sure that you are 70% of what you say and write, 90% of what you do. This is how you remember most things. This is why live events, implementation boot camps, accelerator programs, this is why these things are so valuable. Okay, high energy equals high income. Let's go through this and let's go. So ideal beginner-friendly business model, okay? From our studies, 95% of the people here are making anywhere from $5,000 a month and beyond-ish, right? Ismail, would you say that's true? So it's basically under $30,000. And the fastest, easiest way to scale up your income would be this, okay? To find a business model that they pay you recurring $1,500 to $10K. And these are the four 4 key components that you need to have. Okay. So number one, it needs to be either service-based. What's an example of a service-based business? So a service-based business could be a marketing service. So I'll tell you an example. When I was getting started in 2009, 2010, a little website launched called Fiverr. Anyone ever use Fiverr? Okay, back then it was just popping off. And I would sell these designer Facebook covers. Okay, and I created a product called social media rockstar branding. I know it's very original, but it was called social media rockstar branding. And we would charge around $1,000 to $2,000 even till today. Okay, I have so much trouble with graphics and designs, it kind of drives me crazy. It's one of those few things that just like really gets under my skin. So that's why I just don't do it. But what I did do is about 10 plus years ago, I would find clients that needed help with designer stuff. And then what I would do is I would sell them like $1,000 program. And what I would do is go to Fiverr and outsource it for maybe less than $100. Now, if I did that and each client paid me, let's say $1,100 and my cost was $1,000, how much profit do I make? $1,000. Yes or no? So if I did that 5 times a month, how much do I make? $5,000 a month. Do you guys see where I'm going with this? So for me, as soon as I got that shift, okay, I can help one person and make $1,000 to $5,000. All I have to do is get 5 clients and I make 5K a month. If I get 10 clients, then I make $10,000 a month. Okay. Check your message. And so if I wanted to now scale to $20,000 a month, all I had to do was get 20 customers. Does that make sense? So when you're starting off, a lot of the times you're like, but how do I get customers? We're going to go through this. If you ask yourself, okay, if you ask yourself this question, that what is my goal? So I'm going to ask you this. In the next 90 days, so 90 days from today, what would be your goal to make per month? And I want you to write it down so you activate the RAS, the reticular activating system inside of your brain. Okay, so write down, in 90 days from now, my goal is to make $10,000 a month. My goal is to make $30,000 a month. And then secondly, what I'm going to do is I'm going to ask all 124 of you to post it in the chat, in the Zoom chat right now. Okay, so I'm going to read some of this out. $33,000 a month. Yes. 10K a month, 10K a month. I'm just going to take a quick selfie. Give us a wave, everyone. Okay, I am earning $10,000 a month, 10,000, 25K a month, 25K a month, 15K a month, $100,000 a month, 100K, $50,000 a month, 125K per month, recurring. Michael, good job. Okay, in 90 days from now, I want to make 10K, 20K. Okay, so whatever goal that you've put down, one, great, I love it. My team is making notes to make sure that we're going to help you come up with a plan to get this. Now, let me ask you this. Have you ever made this sort of income before? So some people say yes, some people say no. If you've made this sort of income that you asked for, give me a thumbs up. And if you've never done it, give me a thumbs down. Thumbs down, thumbs down. Okay, so if you see, a lot of people have said, not yet, never, no way, not yet, no, no, no. Okay, lots of people are giving me the thumbs down. Ismail, if you can let me know how many thumbs down we've got versus how many thumbs up. So we've got around so far 5% of people saying thumbs up and the majority of people saying thumbs down. So let me share this story with you guys. And this was the reason why I created the Sales Funnels Challenge in the beginning. I used to do these events in Singapore, Hong Kong, Malaysia, all over the UK, USA, Australia, Canada. It was one of my favorite spots. That's where I met Glenda all those years ago. So when I would do this event, I would say this: how many of you want to become a millionaire? And everyone would put their hand up, okay? And then I would say, okay, how many of you currently make at least $10,000 a month? And no one would put their hand up. So then I would say the same question, but in a different way. I'd say, okay, guys, how many of you know what $1 million a year looks like? What does that look like in a month? No one has a clue. Nobody. Maybe one guy who's smart who'd pull out his phone and do, $1 million divided by 365. And I'd always catch him out, okay, because I'd see his phone. Most people have no idea. It's $84,000 a month, $2,700 a day. That number has to be etched in your mind if you want to become a millionaire. I know the goal I want to hit in my business, the next goal is to get to $3 million a month, because I see my best friend making $4 or $5 million a month. And I'm like, if he can do it, no offense, he's not that smart, I can do it too. Okay, no offense. Abdul, if you're watching this, okay? So in my mind, I'm like, my Canadian friend's making $4 or $5 million a month, and he's not that smart. So my next goal is to get to $3 million a month, which is 100 grand a day. If my product is, say, $20,000, I need to make 5 sales a day. How many sales a day? 5 sales a day. You trust me, you can see these. I can't show you all of these things, but on my computer, around my desktop, I have my goals all over on my computer, on my desk. As soon as I get on my desk, on my other desk, on my laptop, I don't have it on this phone cover, but I have these goals everywhere written out. Do you guys see where I'm going with this? This is how millionaires operate. Everywhere I go, I can see, look, there's a whiteboard here. It's got my goals. I'm like, okay, if my best friend's making $4 or $5 million a month, and I just told you he's not that smart, surely I could get to $3 million a month. So I have one word: clarity. You guys get that? So when I would do these seminars, right, and I would say, how many of you want to become a millionaire? Everyone puts their hand up. I say, okay, you tell me, how much do you need to make per day? They're like, I don't know. And I'm like, and I realize the gap is too huge. Do you understand what I'm saying? If you're at zero, if you're making less than $5 grand a month right now, and you've never made 30, 40, 50 grand a month, it's okay to dream to make $1 million. But you know what happens? The gap is too much. Does that make sense? So what happens is your mind says, unless you're an overachiever, this doesn't work for most people, okay? So I'm just going to, because I think I'm a pretty normal guy. I think most people here are pretty normal. So I'm just going to talk as if we're both basically normal people, okay? What I found is if you say to yourself, okay, I just want to build $1 billion company, but you've never made $1 million. Do you realize how crazy that sounds? Okay, for most people, what happens is the way your brain works, the unconscious mind tells you, you can never do it. It's like the person that says, I want to lose weight whilst having a little cupcake with some custard. That was me, by the way. But, tomorrow, it's one more time. It's a one-off. And every single day, another Ben & Jerry's, full tub. Do you guys see where I'm going with this? I had a bad habit of me and food. I'd wait for my wife to go to sleep. Then I'd get back out of bed. I'd jump upstairs, and I don't share this with many people, but I'm going to share this with you. Is it okay if I'm just open with you guys like this? Yes? I'm sharing this with you so that you understand there's no difference between you and me. Okay, I just figured out a few things. I'd have a Ben & Jerry's. I'd watch some conspiracy, Alex Jones, crazy nutcase on YouTube, all of those videos. And then, the craziest thing would be, because if I throw the Ben & Jerry's tub in the bin, she's going to see it in the morning. So I live on the river, and I just dish it out on the river. Okay, now, I'm only sharing this with you because sometimes people are like, Shaqir, you're making all this money. There must be something. Listen, there's nothing special about me. Okay, just like my students. I just saw Jamal Ahmed join here. Hey, Jamal, are you here? I don't know if Jamal is here.
Assalamu alaikum. I am here.
Walaikum salam, brother. How are you? Ismail, if you can bring Jamal.
Praise
on.
to God.
There you go.
Fantastic. Thank you.
So nice to see everyone. Say hello, Jamal.
But by the way, you can see I'm retired. I'm in holiday mode. I'm going on holiday tomorrow with
Oh my, okay,
my
you
baby
deserve it.
and my wife. I'm going to take 10 days off.
10 days off. I love it. Nice. Jamal, thanks so much for joining in for a few minutes. Just share your story, because you joined a similar program like this, the 5-day challenge or one of these webinars. You came across, you've been seeing my stuff online, but just feel free to share.
Yeah, hi everyone. My name is Jamal Ahmed, and I am a world-class data privacy consultant and coach. And I actually came to Shaqir in the middle of the recession, the pandemic. So I was a consultant. I was doing quite well with my clients, or so I thought. I had a couple of clients, but actually what I was doing was selling my time for money. And when the pandemic came, everyone started sacking their staff and letting all their contractors go. And they also said, hey, thanks, but no thanks. We don't need consultants right now. We're putting all our stuff on furlough that we can keep, and the rest we're letting go. But there's no way we can keep you. And it's not like I'm going to enforce the contracts. The courts aren't working. Nobody's working. And I have to spend good money to chase bad money. So I was like, you know what? The right thing to do is just to say, okay, that's fine. And so I had bills to pay. I had a mortgage to pay. And the thing is, if you actually go back and watch some of my videos I did with Shaqir, you can see this is my office now. So you can see I've got a nice bookshelf. I've got all of the lighting in the studio. I've got a board up there. I've got all the tech. But actually, when I first joined Shaqir, I was living here with my wife, who was pregnant, and our 2 cats. There was a bed right here. That cross trainer over there was over there. I had my wardrobe there. And it was just horrible. And I was in a really bad place. And the reason I had to do that was because I couldn't afford to pay the mortgage here and pay the rent where I was living and have the builders do the work. So I was stuck. Like, I couldn't foresee the recession coming. I thought I was all right. I thought I had these clients, but everything went really bad. And I ended up taking a bounce back loan just to survive. And it was at that point I was like, I can't carry on like this. Something has to change. So I had a chat with a few people. Shaqir wasn't the first person I spoke to. I spoke to Shaqir, I checked out the competition. And when I assessed everything side by side, it was an absolute no-brainer. I wanted someone who values me for me and doesn't just see me as another number or another high-ticket client. And they actually want me to do it. And that's what I sensed when I spoke to not just Shaqir, but I had to speak to some of his team before I even had the opportunity to get 15 minutes with him. And the one thing that really stood out for me was they don't want from me, which is what I found in the other programs. They wanted for me. And that was the thing that really stood out. They wanted for me. They really wanted me to do well. So I used what I had left for the bounce back loan. I found a way to get in. And this is the thing, guys. A lot of you are going to be watching this and say, you know what? I've got this problem. I've got that problem. I don't have the money. And the truth is, nobody has the money. But if you see the value and you want change bad enough, you find the money. So I found the money and I went all in. And I think from the first day I was all in. I was like, Shaqir, where did you go? I was making all my notes and I was sharing my takeaways. And then I just started acting on stuff, right? So I would learn a few things and then I would go and implement that. And I did that over time. And all praise to God, based on all of the things I was learning from the program. And the thing is, I don't know what the format is now, but when I joined Shaqir's program, Monday, you speak to Shaqir. Tuesday, you speak about traffic. Wednesday, you speak about sales. Thursday, you speak about funnels. Friday, there's someone doing tech and copywriting. It was like, my gosh, there's something to learn every day and there's something to implement. And the thing is, it doesn't matter if you don't take 100% every single day and implement it. You just do that one bit and you come back next week and you do a little bit more. And eventually, I got to a stage where I managed to figure out that I can package the knowledge I have inside my mind, doing what I've been doing as a consultant, and help other people get certified and become world-class consultants too. And so that's what I started doing. Shaqir said, go and make an offer, find out who your ideal customers are. So I started messaging people on Facebook, got some people on calls, figured out what they want, and then I packaged it into a program, which we call the Privacy Pro Accelerator program, and I started selling that. And I got some really good results, got some case studies. So I doubled down on what was working, got rid of some of the stuff that wasn't, and kept doing the same thing over and over again. But each week coming to the lessons, taking one thing away and going away. And this is the thing, Shaqir, might tell you guys when I'm not here, he is telling me off every single day. Every time we speak, he's like, "You haven't even done this other thing I told you about." I was like, "No, I'm just focusing on this one thing, and I've got other challenges." And he's like, "You're builders, you're this, you're that." But look, all praise to God, from when I started living in this shed with my family to this now being a really nice office where I'm teaching people from all around the world is absolutely amazing. And in terms of results, I think I've done not too bad. So in the first year working with Shaqir, it took me 11 months to hit 100K cash collected in pounds. So in November, I hit 100K. You probably see some of these videos I shared with Shaqir. And then last year, I managed to do it in 8 months. And just last week, I sent Shaqir or our group a picture that said, "Look, I've just hit 100K in 4 months for the first time ever. And now I'm going to go and take a break. I haven't had a break since the pandemic and probably before that. So I'm going to go take a break, recharge, refresh, come back and get straight back into the lesson and see how I can now say, okay, I've done 100K in 4 months. How can I do that in 3 months? How can I then do that in 2 months? How can I apply more of the skills that not just Shaqir, but Shaqir and his team and the other amazing people getting amazing results here are doing?" And look, this is the thing that Shaqir doesn't sell, but he should actually charge for it, is when you come and join, you're going to be around like-minded people. Some people are going to be one step ahead of you. Some people will be 10 steps ahead of you, right? You've seen some of his clients, they're doing like 100 million every 3 months. Okay, that is far beyond where I am right now. I aspire to get there, but right now, if someone can show me how to get to 100K a month, I'll take that. And there's people in the group doing 100K a month. And so I'm speaking to them, we're supporting each other. And Shaqir's coming and optimizing those tips. Reynolds, his team, they're all there supporting. Sometimes I'm slacking. He's messaging me saying, "Hey, you're going to get this done." His team are messaging me saying, "Jamal, we've got this, we're waiting for you to get back." So it's not like they just say, "Hey, come in and we're going to forget all about it now that we've collected some cash from you." It's like, "Hey, come on, we want to help you. Remember what you said when you joined us? You said you wanted these things. How badly do you want it? Because we want it more bad than you right now. What can we do to help you here?" And I joined the program, what was it, 2 years ago now, Shaqs?
Yeah.
And I'm still here today, and I'm getting the support, and I'm getting the love, and he's inviting me to come and share my expertise so I can help other people. And this is the thing that really energizes me, helping people. And thanks to Shaqir and the program, it's allowed me to create a business where I'm helping people transform their lives. I've taken Uber drivers, and now they're delivering world-class privacy solutions for multinational companies. I've taken people from the retail shops, and they're delivering data privacy programs for national companies. And the most amazing thing is all of the big four, your PwC, your Deloitte, your Accenture, they're all sending me their staff, because one of the things Shaqir teaches is personal branding, how to create credibility, how to enhance your authority, and how you create that market of one so you're not competing with anyone else offering similar stuff. And even if they are, how you become the aspirational choice. And that is the thing that I love most now. A lot of people are messaging on LinkedIn and saying, "Hey, I'd love to join your programs, but I can't afford you." And I remember Shaqir saying earlier on, "Charge high prices, you're worth it," right? I didn't believe it. But since joining, I've tripled the prices that I used to charge. So at the beginning, if you go on my Facebook group, you can see I was struggling to get clients for $997. I'm now saying I charge $3,000. If you want to have a conversation with me, make sure there's $3,000 in the bank before I jump on the call with you. And people are giving that money and coming on. If you go on my LinkedIn now, you see there's a woman called Mary. She went to the Michigan Institute of Technology. She's a Harvard graduate. She's training with me now. This would never have happened a million miles ago. And I'm not even a trained lawyer. But none of that mattered, because what Shaqir teaches on personal branding, on credibility, on authority, and the secret about positioning, that is worth the millions and the hundreds of millions. And I'm so grateful to be here to share my story. And if I can inspire some of you to take action, because we want for you to be great, so you can illuminate whatever gift you have inside you, whatever you do better than everyone else, help other people to transform their lives. And it's only when we help by giving that we actually get what we deserve. And we just got to keep on working. So I'm looking forward to going away, taking a few days, getting some vitamin D, coming back and absolutely smashing it, God willing.
All right, man, I appreciate. Give him a big round of applause, you guys. Okay, I thought he's gonna jump on for 1 minute, but here we have someone speaking from his heart. And you know, when someone speaks from the heart like this, not to praise him in front of his face, but it's because it's not me or it's my team that have helped you, right? And maybe some things have helped you or have, you know, kicked your backside and made sure that you do, and, you know, got you to come to the 3-day live boot camps and make the videos and do all of this stuff. And I remember one of the things when you came to me, I thought to myself, wow, if there was carpet cleaning, as boring as that is, one step above is privacy. I thought, who wants to learn about data privacy? The reason yesterday I said, I guarantee anyone on here, if you speak to myself, my team, basically, for the 15-minute audit call, like 99% chance, I'll know if we can help you or not. If we can help someone like Jamal, who's data privacy, I remember he was like, we helped them with GDPR. And I was like, what is this? And I was like, because see, here's the thing. It's like building a house. If you know how to build a house, it doesn't matter if you're in Singapore or in UK or in Australia, you know how to build a house, yes or no, right? If you're a doctor in America, when you come to the UK, you're still a doctor. You still know how to treat patients, yes or no? It's the same thing. When I see a business owner that wants to build his business, whether he's starting from scratch or he wants to scale his agency or sell courses, or he's been in corporate for 5, 10, 20 years, and now he's like, hey, what am I going to do for the next 10, 20 years? Okay, me and my team, we obviously through experience, we've developed this and we know exactly, hey, boom, 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 here's the next 5 moves way before you, because we've done it. Just like the guy yesterday, Landon was his name, snowboarding. Just because he's selling physical snowboards and he's got expertise snowboarding, but he doesn't have an online course, he doesn't have an in-person mastermind. Is there a profit center there for him to use? Absolutely. So Jamal, I just want to say, all praise to God. You've done amazing. I'm so proud of you. And we're here to support you. I'm hosting another event, by the way, in my penthouse next month. So if you can, please do come along for the 3 days. And I am excited to see where the next journey goes to 100 grand a month. Let's go.
Inshallah. Thank you very much.
Assalamu alaikum, bro.
Walaikum salam.
Okay, wow, guys. Let's give this guy another big round of applause. That was cool. That was cool. Was that cool, you guys? Hey, who wants to be the next Jamal? And right now he's making 25,000 pounds a month, which is $30,000 a month. Who wants to be the next Jamal? Type in, I want to be your next success story. Let's go. That's cool. I'm so proud of him. Let's go. So, all right, we're seeing the comments blow up. Awesome. Let's go. And like I said, Ismail, if you drop a link to the audit, the reason why he came on, I remember he joined one of the, or he must have watched a webinar or something, or one of these challenges, and then he joined and he booked a call. And in the call, he straight away, he was like, hey, I'm checking out your competitors. You know, they're in America and they have all this big stuff. Like, what's the difference? And he made his own decision. And I look at him and I'm like, wow. So amazing. So there's so many different business models. This is, people will say, you know, should I do info products? Should I do drop shipping? Should I do Amazon? Should I do affiliate marketing? And there's so many different things. So like when you're doing affiliate marketing, there's good and there's bad. Every business model has good and bad to it. Okay. Because I've done so many different business models, I can tell you, for example, how many of you know about affiliate marketing? Okay, when you sell other people's stuff. Okay, so with affiliate marketing, there's different trends. And if you don't get the timing right, for example, if you come in too late, then you're not going to get the big share of the profit because the offers become saturated. Does that make sense? How many of you have experienced that? How many of you have ever tried to do Amazon, drop shipping, e-commerce, Shopify? Anyone? Okay, so what happens is when you try to do like physical products, what you don't tend to realize is that as you're trying to make sales, the costs go high and high and high and high and high. And then you realize, oh my gosh, like I'm making sales, but I'm making no money. Now you have to do other things to supplement your income. But then what's the point of starting the business? So this is why I said there's so many different business models. My goal is, hey, listen, how do you stash $250,000, $500,000, $1 million, and then go decide whatever heck you want to do? Does that make sense? So maybe you want to build physical products. You're passionate about beard cream. Okay, I don't know, whatever, right? I just started keeping the beard a little while ago. So I'm getting really passionate about beard creams. Okay, it's like my new thing that I tend to buy quite a bit of. Now, the thing is, just because I like it doesn't mean I'm going to start selling it. Does that make sense? So a lot of people, they see a product, and the big mistake that they make is, oh, this is cool. Oh, I'm really passionate about this. Okay, now I'm just going to jump into it. And not knowing the success rate, the failure rate, not knowing how to manage their downside, not knowing risk management, not knowing that if you spend the next 6 months and you build a, what is this, premium beard balm, something, whatever brand this is, okay, you're going to be competing with a brand, this is one of my favorite brands, like Kiehl's. Kiehl's has been around since 1851. Okay, and I have run 6 different creams, I think, on my desk. Okay, the thing is, I do not want to compete with a giant like this. Does that make sense? Okay, because this is a powerful strength, line reducing and dark circle diminishing vitamin C eye serum with tripeptide and hyaluronic acid. I mean, I don't even know what goes into these things. I just need a simple thing. Buy low, sell high. Just like my dad said in property, you buy low, you sell high, whatever is in the middle is profit. Does that make sense? Same way, this is why I'm so passionate about the digital courses. Once you have a funnel and a course, here's how it works. You're essentially buying traffic from, or you're getting traffic from any of the social media. The traffic comes in to you, into your shop, into your website, into your funnel. And now what happens is people buy. So remember yesterday I talked about the master tactical triangle. Remember this? Okay. Traffic, conversions, economics. So traffic is essentially people. Write this down. Traffic is essentially people. Conversions is the funnels, the process. And economics, this is where most people get it wrong. Economics is the math behind it. So when Jamal came to me and he was like, he wants to sell, his expertise, I was like, immediately, I was like, what are you doing working for a whole day for $1,000 or £1,000 or whatever it was, or I think a month per client? I'm like, change your day rate, triple the prices. Let's figure out how to take that expertise and make it into an offer. Does that make sense? So then I showed him how to take his knowledge from his head, create it into a digital course. And then I own Wealth Academy. So he modeled after mine and he called his one Privacy Pros Academy. So then he started creating, he saw me launching certification programs. So he starts launching a certification program for people that come to him. Does that make sense? Okay, team, if you can also admit the people that are coming in, yeah? So if you go over here, the ideal ultimate business model is the one that uses funnels to sell courses, coaching, consulting, agency services. Essentially, selling information. This is, no matter how you brand it, whether it's service-based, coaching, what you're doing is you're selling information. You're selling someone a transformational result. People come to me, and the reason why they want to spend $50,000 or $100,000 or whatever the case is because they're confident that if they pay me that money, instead of keeping it in the bank, inflation, money being eroded, losing trust with their government and whatever else is going on in the world, if they invest in themselves, in a funnel or in a program, they can get a return on it. Does that make sense? Okay. If they get a process down, the process now can make them more money than they invest in. And the reason is because we follow this thing called the tactical triangle, okay? Where the traffic, conversions, economics. So let me break this down for you guys again. TCE, traffic, conversions, economics. Traffic is the people from social media. Conversions is what you say, what your funnels is, what your process is, how you get people to know, like, and trust you, okay? So for example, some of you here You've come in. This is my conversion process. You guys get that? Because you've come in to this. Now, I know my economics. I know, hey, if I spend X amount of money on a funnel, then predictably I can make this much back. Are you guys with me so far? And so what we want to do with you is we want to ask yourself this question where when people come to you, what's your funnel? So that you can predictably, this is the key, ladies and gentlemen, so that you can predictably spend, say $1,000, $1,000 a month to make back maybe $5,000, $10,000 a month back. Does that make sense? And Mikey, if you can come over here and give me a hand with the annotations here. I'm not sure if we can you see it? The red lines? Oh, okay. And Ismail, if you can accept the new members that are waiting to join the class. Okay, it doesn't matter. I'm just gonna, let me see if I can carry on here. Okay, so I'm going to show you the most lucrative funnel setups. It's based on these 5 elements, okay? So 5 elements, write this down: traffic, sales, funnels, offer, sales, follow-up. Okay, so traffic is people, funnels is the process of people coming into you. Offer, the follow-up, sales. These are the 5 essential elements of all online business success. And you want to ask yourself, what motivation does your funnel offer? Cost of inaction? Are you giving them a cure, or are you giving them a prevention? Okay. So this is the 5 key elements. You guys want to write this down. Targeted offer. You have to have an offer. You have to have a specific messaging. There's a reason why there's over 120 people live here now, over 1,000 people registered for this 5-day workshop, right? Is because the targeted offer matched. Now, if I said to you, suddenly, I start talking about how to lose weight, how many of you are going to be like, has Shaqir gone bonkers? Okay. Or what if I said, hey guys, you here wants to attract their dream soulmate in the next 5 days or less? You're going to be like, whoa, 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 calm down. Yes or no? So that's why, because the messaging has to match. Okay. So a lot of the times what's happening is you're thinking to yourself, you know what? I want to go and sell my services, my expertise to this person. But the reality is that person doesn't care or has no clue about what you're trying to sell or who you are. Does that make sense? So you have to make sure the targeted offer is correct. The specific messaging is in place, the pre-selling process, so that people are, write this down, pre-sold to do business with you. And you got to keep things simple, because in today's day and age where everyone's suffering from ADD or ADHD or whatever the case is, it's hard if you give them 21 steps, 6 to 7 steps. Okay, just keep things simple, 3 steps, 5 steps at a time. And you want to always have a premium feel and value. And here's what happens. The reason why you want to always attract premium level clients is because you'll have the profits to be excited to grow your business. Yes or no? If I said to you, let's just say Glenda's here right now. If I said, Glenda, you have 2 choices, $500 product or $5,000 product. And you now start getting 20 customers at $500. Sure, you'll make $10,000 in the next 30 days, but now you have to deal with 20 clients for what? For what was it? $500 times, I don't even know what that is. $500 times 20 is $10,000. Okay. What if you just got 1 client that paid you $10,000? You'd probably be way more excited to work with that person. Yes or no? You'd probably be motivated for a year, for a month, for many months, for 5 years, for over a decade.
You're also less strained because you're only dealing with one person's personality as opposed to dealing with 20 other people, which will end up pulling you in all different directions. So absolutely.
Glenda, do you now realize why I've been doing the same thing for over a decade?
Yes. Well, why am I here?
There you go. Right. Do you guys get that? Whereas, listen, once you start making lots of money, then you can do the other different funnels. You can focus on writing a book. You can do all the low ticket stuff. For example, like my 5-day challenges, they're a way for me to help a lot of people at the same time, and then help a few people develop a relationship with me that I can pick out to be my next success story, like Jamal or like Mike or Mike Barron or any of these guys. Does that make sense? So in the beginning, if you do not focus on the high ticket program, then here's what I found. It's not very motivating. Does that make sense? For example, people launch an agency. How many of you here are agency owners? Anyone? You have your own agency? Okay. Most people, when they launch their agency, raise your hand so I can see you guys. Okay. And now type in how much you charge for your services. Let's go. Well, we'll do this example actually live. Let's do this right now. Okay, now watch this. I have Ismail right next to me, right? He owns TikToks. He co-founded an agency. Watch this. Let me see. Ismail, you want to read out these? $1,000, $297. Okay. $97 a month. Okay, now watch this, guys. $97 a month. I can already feel your pain, Clyde. I can feel it through the computer right now. 97 what? Okay, Patricia says, I want to live your life. God bless you, Patricia. Now watch this. Ismail, how old are you again? Okay, he's 24 now. Okay, I met him when he was like 19, 20 years old. So known him for a few years. I still think he's like 20 years old. How much do you charge for your services? 5K to 25K. Did you guys get that? He's 24 years old. Now you might think, why am I not charging this? You should be thinking that. Why are you not charging that? Now, let me ask you this, Ismail. When you sell your service, for example, in your agency, because you have a successful agency, you're selling video editing services, correct? Yeah. Do you know anything about video editing? No. His answer was no. Ismail, have you ever edited a video in your life? His answer was no. Do you guys get that? So you don't remember, write this down. You don't even have to know the full picture. You just have to find other people that know the full picture. Same way, you see these designs and these graphics. Okay, I have no idea. I mean, the other day I opened up something called Canva and I'm like, wow, this looks very cool. I could just manage to drag stuff. And after a few minutes, I'm like, okay, I'm done. I don't want to use this anymore. And actually, Glenda was with me in London and she goes, hey, I know how to use Canva. And I looked at her and I thought, wow, that's smart of her. Okay, so different people are in different stages. What I'm sharing with you guys is when you're starting off, okay, you want to focus on high ticket clients. That means less clients, but at a higher rate. Do you guys get that? Okay, so, hold on. Let me just go to the next slide. Okay, why do we want to do this? Because the higher the price, remember this, it allows you to advertise consistently. Write that down. Okay, when you have a funnel and it produces profits, you can now start to advertise more. If you advertise more, then you're going to be able to grow more. Is this all making sense, everybody? So you might wonder, what do these funnels look like? This is an example.
Shaqir, can you go back a couple of slides? I missed
Sorry.
your showing.
No,
Go
this
back.
is the important part. Yeah, this is the important part. So So this is the process of the funnel, okay? This is the process of the funnel. Ismail, can you see my screen?
Yep.
Okay. So stage one is banner ads.
Mark, you're
okay?
not showing anything. There's nothing coming up. No screen showing.
Yeah, I can see it.
I can see it.
Okay. Glenda, I'm not sure. Maybe it's on your side. If you can see my screen, I'm showing a bunch of banners. Raise your hand. Okay. So I'm going to walk you guys through this. And I'm going to walk you guys through this. How it works. Mikey, where's my iPad pen? No, I think it dropped on the floor. Okay, so basically, stage one is traffic. We must find one traffic source that we can capitalize and bring people in from. Okay, that's number one. Number two is we have to have something called a VSL, a video sales letter. Sometimes I refer to it as an ASM, an automatic selling machine, or a webinar. How many of you have heard of a webinar before? Okay, or even something like this. This is a challenge funnel. Okay, then what happens is it leads into the digital product. Then it leads into the members area. And if we want to offer them support, we give them support through a Facebook group. Does that make sense? Are you guys, is this making sense for you guys?
Yep.
Now, I remember this funnel took me close to around probably 6 months to build. Now, it wasn't me, it was my team that built it. They recorded the videos, they created the graphics. I paid someone, I think $15,000. I think it was like, 10 or 15K maybe to write an entire sales page. Okay. And when it was all done and dusted, it cost me around $40,000 to build the whole thing. Okay. When we launched it, we generated over $450,000. That was one funnel. And the reason why I'm sharing this with you guys is because I have seen over and over again for the people that come in and they start to make a lot of money, they realize it's not just one thing. Okay. It is multiple things that you have to have in order for it to work. Does that make sense? So sometimes people also have this idea is, oh my gosh, like all I need is just a funnel. Now I have some bad news for you. If anyone ever tells you all you need is just this one thing, then there's a good chance they're not telling you the truth. Does that make sense? Because even if I give you the best funnel, but then you don't have coaching, you don't have support, you don't have done for you elements, you don't have traffic. It's like me giving you a Ferrari, but you don't know how to drive. Is there any use in having that Ferrari? Yes or no? Maybe you can just look at it, keep it as an investment, but most of the time, no. Okay. And sometimes what I've seen is if you can grasp your head around, hey, okay, you know what? There's 5 elements. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Or there's 3 elements. Okay, if I can just understand traffic and conversions equals cash, traffic and conversions, economics. Okay, I can wrap my head around that. Okay, step 1, step 2, step 3, or step 4, step by step. There's only 6 things I need to focus on. And when you get stuck, you can just move things around. Then your chances of success is just way more higher. Everyone agree? So, Tony, this was a similar story like Jamal. Okay, so how many of you here find yourself as consultants or you have experience in expertise? Let me just see. If you see identify as a consultant, so this is someone you've worked in a 9-to-5 job, just type into the chat box if that's you. Consultant, you have years, maybe decades of expertise. So I identified about 20 to 30% of people here are agency owners. And then we want to know who are the coaches or consultants. So you're already selling your information. So for example, Glenda, she's a reinvention coach, right? So she helps people that are like 50 plus, utilize social media to do their branding. Okay, so Jenny says she's a financial and business advisor for 20 years. That is a consultant, right? She's not really into the agency business. Ingrid says, not me, I'm a former government worker. Okay, well, here's the thing. If you're a government worker, most likely you are some sort of consultant. Angel says, project management for 20 plus years. Ree says, ex-banker to business coaches. Okay, so we have a handful of consultants here. Now, let me give you an example. Vincent is a roofing consultant. Eva is a venue owner. Okay, I don't know what professional mixologist is, but anyway. So this guy, Tony, I meet him and he shares with me this story, okay, about how he was doing one-on-one presentations for 35 years of his life. By the way, when I met him, I was around 29 years, 30 years old. Okay, so I meet him, he's been doing business longer than I've been alive. And he says, I look at him and he was dressed up, fully three-piece suit and all of this stuff. And I was probably wearing a hoodie. And I looked at him and I said, why are you dressed like that? And he said, why are you dressed like that? Okay, so well, I work from home. And he goes, well, he was basically helping me with some world financial services, right? He's in that game, financial services. So his whole business was, he would go up and down the country in the UK, drive and meet wealthy individuals to sell them financial packages, financial planning packages. Does that make sense? You know those guys that you see in the hotel, you're walking by and you're like, the guy is sitting there with the older lady drawing stuff on a napkin, and you're like, something's going on. Either he's selling them financial retirement packages or he's trying to sell an MLM. Who knows what I'm talking about? Okay, where you're drawing on the napkins and stuff. Okay, how many of you have been doing that yourself? It's funny because you know what's crazy? You saw the guy Jamal 13 years ago when I was like 21 years old. He did that. He took me to a restaurant. It was his dad's restaurant. He sat me down in the basement of the restaurant and he drew the MLM plan, the multi-level network marketing plan on a napkin. And he sold me a package. 13 years later or 10 years later, he became a client of ours. So this guy, Tony, what happened was he was driving, meeting prospects and doing one-on-one meetings. And he's been doing this for 35 years. Okay. Let me tell you this. He meets me and I introduce him to the power of funnels. And I said, you know, instead of you going out, and he's telling me he meets 4 people, one of them is going to do business with him, or 2 of them, I can't remember what it was. And then I tell him, why don't you just create an automated webinar presentation, put your expertise from your head into the webinar, and now people can come to you instead of you chasing people. Guess what happens? He literally goes and does that. After 35 years of driving up and down the country, he starts to follow my lead and his business goes on to generate as much as $50,000 in a single month. Let's give this guy a big round of applause. Let's go. Clap it up. Okay, so if I go over here, I love digital courses. These are just a handful of courses over the years I've built. And the reason is very simple. Once you have a system, all you have to do is duplicate it. Once you learn over these 5 days and in our VIP accelerator programs, how to create courses, you can now create courses, certifications, upsells, downsells, consulting offers, mastermind offers, in-person workshops. Are you guys with me? So this is the 7-step marketing formula, okay? This is what it comes down to. And how did I come across this? I'll show you. How many of you know or have seen any of these gurus? Just raise your hand if you've seen them. Okay, so if you've seen any of these gurus on the internet, then you'll probably see that they all have, and again, I started looking at all of these people, right? And I started asking myself, how do they make money? Like Gary V, you see him always making lots of videos, hustle your face off, work 18 hours a day, sacrifice your friends and family. I don't listen to him, but basically that's, you know, I don't subscribe to that line of work, okay? I believe that you should have balance in your life. I believe you should have lots of fun, look after your faith, family, friends, I don't believe in you should go and go to garage sales like he preaches. Okay, to make what? Low ticket sales, sell $20 mugs. I don't subscribe to his stuff. However, did you know that after he makes lots of YouTube videos, if you pay him the right amount of money, I think it's $10,000 or $25,000, you and 10 other people can spend like a few hours with him in his office. Yes or no? Yeah. Now you know. Guess what? That's his funnel. Yes or no? So a funnel is essentially nothing more than an optimized process where people come to you instead of you going to them. Let's look at Tim Ferriss. How many of you guys know Tim Ferriss? Okay. What does Tim Ferriss do? He has a podcast. He gives away value. And then what does he try to sell you? His books. In his books, because he sells, say, millions of copies, there's affiliate links to all sorts of different products and services. Does that make sense? On the back end of that, people now come to him with investments. Is that his funnel? Yes or no? How about Tony Robbins? We all know Tony Robbins, yeah? What about Tony Robbins' funnel? You go, you pick up his $10 book. After you buy his $10 book, you then go on to experience his event. He has an event called UPW, Unleash the Power Within. After you go and experience the UPW event, there's like 10,000 people there. Do you think he has multiple things to sell you? Absolutely. I went there and I had no idea I had relationship issues. I'm like, whoa, he's selling me a relationship course for like $15,000. I'm like, okay. He's selling me a business program for $10,000. I'm like, wow, okay, I'll buy. At the end, I'm like, oh my gosh, I just spent a whole bunch of money. But guess what? That's part of his funnel. So if all the wealthiest entrepreneurs and people that you watch and follow, if they have their own funnels, why not you? That's where we have to ensure that we make the decision, hey, we need funnels. We need to have funnels that will do the selling for us. So this is the 7 steps that I discovered, okay? And sure, there are 3-step funnels, there's 2-step funnels and all of this stuff. But this is the grand one that I saw, okay? So the number 1 is squeeze page, okay? So this is where people come in, they give you the name and email address, and now you have a way to communicate with those people. You can send them emails, you can send them offers, you can send them different programs. The second thing is what we call a sales letter, a video, a webinar. Okay, and then what we can do is we can tell them to come in and either book a phone call, okay, or they can come in and they can buy a product or service. Abid, is this making sense? Is this making sense, team? Okay, now the next one is what's called a IPS, an integrated product suite. How many of you don't have a product yet or don't have multiple products by a show of hands? Okay, how many of you would like for me to help you create your own product suite? By a show of hands. Okay, so if you think about it, right, when you go into Apple, you don't just go and find one product, right? So if you see, I have an iPhone, I have an iPad, I have the laptop, I have a big MacBook, I have another small iPad over there. Multiple products from Apple, yes or no? That's why they're $1 trillion company. If I said to you, Royd, where's your integrated product suite? If I come to you today, Abid, if I come to you, knock on your door, I come and meet you, say, hey, Abid, show me what's your integrated product suite. If you're like, I don't know, you've already lost me. I'm gone. Yes or no?
Well, for now, yes, that's what it would be.
For now. Okay. After you work with us, you're gonna have your own integrated product suite. But someone will come in and be like, you know what, I want to learn more about you. Okay, you know what? Here's a little book that I published. Go pick it up for $20, $30 on Amazon. Okay. Boom. Oh, by the way, Abid, I see that you've been in the tech industry for the last 20 years. Oh my gosh, you must have all sorts of experience hey, is there any way I can work with you? Oh yeah, I have 3 different ways that you can work with me. I have an in-person coaching program, I have a digital course, and I have a year-long mastermind program. I'm like, wow, okay. Now, different people will message for different reasons and in different seasons. Write this down. Different people will come to you for different reasons and in different seasons. So some people, majority of people, when they come to us, they're like, yo, I've tried every other thing. I just want one final mentor. How many of you ever feel like that? They're like, I don't want to go and chase 10 different programs. I want one program, one mentor, and I need help every single day. Even if you don't utilize their help, remember what Jamal said. We're the only guys in the entire industry. We offer, from what I know, I've bought Tony Robbins' $75,000 package. He doesn't even offer once a week live support. So Abid, if you want to do that, good luck. Okay, we offer not 1, 2, 3, 5 live classes every single week. And we've been doing it for years like clockwork. I've hand-selected coaches that come in and they do the coaching. I do it once a week or once every 2 weeks. And then I have hand-selected coaches that will come in and teach you everything that you need to know, from messaging, from offers, products, promotion, packaging, traffic, funnels, systems, SOPs. What else do you need? Does that make sense? So when you're choosing a mentor, you need to find someone that covers everything, not just one aspect. Okay, otherwise what will happen is this. Let's just say Abid, smart dude from Toronto, Canada, been in the industry, tech division for the last 20 years. He's jumping around, joining challenges there, doing this, doing that. But he's not, and I'm just giving you as an example, I don't know if this is right or wrong, Abid, but you're not all in on any one program.
That's true at the moment.
Yeah. And I mean, you look like a young guy. I don't want to say your age. But when you look in the mirror, I mean, I'm just telling you, even all these anti-aging creams, they don't seem to do the job. We're not getting any younger. So here's what a powerful motivator. If you don't know what to do next month to make $50,000 a month, write this down. It's costing you $50,000 a month. If you don't make $1 million a year, it's actually costing you $1 million a year. You don't know. It costs me $100 million a year because I don't know exactly. Even if I know exactly, I'm not doing it. Does that make sense? So what most people don't realize is that in order for them, oh, but I want to save money. Oh, I'm not ready. Okay, but the girl next to you is already crushing. Does that make sense? People less smarter than you are making way more money. It's like my old assistant from the Philippines. The guy literally quit on me because he came to my event. He discovered how to use our e-commerce information, make 250 grand for himself, and then said, okay, I'm done, Shaq. I don't want to work for you anymore. I can't blame the guy. I can't pay him 250 grand a year. You guys see where I'm going with this? So a lot of the times what happens is, because we've tried stuff in the past and it hasn't worked, we take that too personally. And then we have an emotional charge. Oh, I've tried this before. I don't want to try again. So one of the ways you overcome this, and I know this, is through live events and being in a mastermind. And do you realize why we host live events? Yes or no? Did you hear what Jamal said? I don't know if you guys caught that, but he said, one of the things that you get is you get part of a community, whether it's on WhatsApp, Facebook, on the weekly webinars. Now you feel supported by a new group of people. Do you understand what I'm saying? Because now you start to believe, you know what? I can actually make 6 figures. Hey, you know what? I can actually make 7 figures. I never thought I could make $1 million. Now I can because I'm in a group every single week. Oh, you know what? I need to dress better. Actually, I should groom much better. I should carry myself much better. Is this making sense to you guys? Okay, everyone around me, they have to dress well. They have to smell good. Because it's a standard. Does that make sense? Are you guys getting this? It's the same thing with making money. If you're hanging around with broke people, guess what happens? You become broke. If you hang, this is why we do the live events. If you see all of these gurus, majority of them, they do some sort of live events, yes or no? Now, you might be like, man, I don't never want to get into the live events. Who's thinking, I never want to get into the live events? Raise your hand. Let me see who's there. Okay, pretty much, yeah? Everyone wants to get into the live event business? Now watch this. Some people will be like, no, I just want to make money from home. That's fine. You can do that with funnels, with all the other stuff I'm saying. But what if someone says to you, hey, I want to spend a day with you and I'm willing to pay you 10 grand? Who now wants to get into live event business? Okay. I remember, guys, what happened was I used to sell $5,000, $10,000 digital courses. And this gentleman from Europe, I can't remember exactly where, but somewhere in Europe, says to me, well, can I come and spend time with you in London? And I was like, yeah, of course you can, but it's going to be very expensive. And, you know, I had no idea. And he said, well, how much is it going to be? And I said, well, for 5 days, it will be $25,000. And he said, okay, I'm in. And I was thinking, you mean he's in? And I remember him wiring the $25,000. And it was like, whoa, someone on the other side of the world, I've never met them. I've never seen them. I just had a couple of calls with them. They wired $25,000. And I must have been like 21, 22 years old. And I was like, oh my gosh. So that was my first insight into this world. Then the next one is webinars. Okay. How many of you have seen other people talk about, and you've probably been on different webinars by a show of hands? Okay. The people that do webinars, they have the power to make automated income. My question to you is, where's your webinar? Maybe you don't know how to build one. Maybe you've never tried to do one. Maybe you've tried and it hasn't worked. Okay, this is one area that we want to do. The next one is email marketing. How many of you guys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, get emails from me by show of hands? Okay, Ismail, can you just take a screenshot of the people that didn't put their hand up? Get their email so I can send them lots of emails. Okay, let me tell you, if you do not have an email database, please, if you take nothing from this entire challenge, make this a priority. Why? How many of you feel like sometimes if you ever get into a cash crunch, you need to find a way to make money? Raise your hand. Nothing beats an email list. It's the ultimate cash on demand system. For example, I'm doing one campaign with you guys here. And on my email list, obviously I've generated hundreds of thousands of email subscribers. So I can send out an email to them, get 3,000 to 10,000 people opening the email, and I can make an offer to them. Does that make sense? If I make an offer to them and I'll say 3,000 people, 30 people respond, say 5 people buy a $10,000 program, tomorrow I can make $50,000. Does that make sense? Okay. And ladies and gentlemen, 10 years ago, I was taught this by my mentors. They said, whatever you do, you got to have a funnel that generates leads every single day so you can make money for the long term. Are you guys with me? If you say to me today, okay, so like most of you, I don't even know who you are yet. But if you tell me how much you make in a year, if you tell me what your business looks like, and if I find out that you don't have an email database and you're not communicating with those people, maybe it's only 50 or 100 people on your email list. If you're not doing that, then I already know you're not making consistent, predictable revenue. Does that make sense? There's a reason why we send out emails almost every single day for around the last 9 or 10 years. I used to send out 1 email a week. Then I started making $10,000, $20,000 a month. Then I started sending out an email 3 to 4 times a week. And then my income went from 50, 100K a month to 300K a month. Then I met a guy from Maryland, I think Baltimore, Maryland, in America somewhere. And I watched I bought a coaching program, I think, from him. And he said, you should email every single day. And I thought, whoa, easy on. People are going to hate me. They're going to unsubscribe. Guess what happened? My income jumped from 300K to 600K a month. And I've never looked back, and I've never stopped emailing. Do you guys get that? Because here's the thing. Say, for example, Abid now creates a digital course. And he's got automated emails that are going out. So, for example, if you go to any of my funnels and you opt in, you're going to get an email every single day. Devon, do you think I'm sitting there writing that email? Oh, that email was written about 3.5, 4 years ago. Is this making sense to you guys? Okay. So this is the kind of stuff that I want you guys to keep in mind. And you want to write this down. I need a 7-step funnel. This is the foundation of me making millions and millions of dollars. Ismail, are you there? Yeah, if you can kindly just mute the sound, the mic, please. Okay, so how many of you guys are committed to having your own funnel by a show of hands? Over the next few days, I'm going to go into some of these things into a lot more detail. But if you do not have a 7-step or even a 5-step funnel, okay, when you're starting off, let me tell you this, right? So for example, let's just say if I was just speaking to Abid, okay, just because he's right in front of me, I can see him straight here. Okay, so if I was working with Abid, I'd say, Abid, you don't need a 7-step funnel. Just start off with the first 3 steps and get yourself to 10 to 30K a month. And as you start scaling and as you start helping more people, and now you got testimonials, and now 10 people are coming in, and now you've got 30 and 50 clients. Okay, now you can do a live event. Do you guys get that? So in my business, we do a live event, let's just say once a month. Okay. And let's just say for someone to come and attend a 3-day event, we'll charge $7,500 or if they're in the UK, it's $7,500 plus some taxes, so maybe $10,000. Okay, so they're actually cheaper to do business if you're not in the UK. Does that make sense to you guys? Okay, so in the UK we have like VAT and value-added tax or whatever, right? So let's just say on average it's $10,000 for a 3-day event. So every month I'll invite, say, 10 people. They'll come in, $10,000 a pop is how much? 100K a month. Does that make sense? If I do that every single month in a year, that is what? $1.2 million a year. Yes or no? By the way, guys, ladies and gentlemen, this is why I've been hosting live events since 2014 or 2013, which basically marks a decade. So here's what I did. For example, Abid, I took my expertise, I started getting some online clients, okay? And slowly, I started building my social media following. It wasn't even a huge amount. I just had a bunch of people on Facebook. Then I said, hey guys, I want to host a 3-day event in London. And we're going to call it, do I have the DVD here? Mikey, do I have the DVD here? Get Money Live. The recording? See if it's, yeah. Get Money Live. And it was a 3-day event and the ticket cost $5,000. Oh my gosh. Subhanallah. Okay, guys, can you see this? All right. Once upon a time, we used to have these things called DVDs. Okay, dang, I haven't seen this in years. It's got dust and stuff over it. Okay, so, all right, there you go. This was the recording of this event, okay? And it's funny because on the back, it basically says, Okay, you guys can't see, but I'm gonna read it out. By the way, this was one of my first ever digital programs. Okay, it basically says Shaqir Hussyin went from being a frustrated young university dropout to an internet millionaire in 3 years. By the age of 25, he built 3 different $1 million businesses. Oh my gosh, you guys see that? By the way, right at the bottom it says, Ismail, you're gonna get a kick out of this. To request a free 30-minute strategy session as one of the lucky members of this, go to cashflowkickstarter.com. Do you guys see this? Do you guys see the power in this? By the way, so my first live event was $25,000, and I had one guy pay me that 5 days. Then I was like, oh my gosh, this is too many days. Then I condensed it down to 2 days for $25,000, and then I had a bunch of ladies. It was 3 American ladies on 3 separate occasions that paid like 25K. Yeah, I think it's 25K. And then they came over to London. Then I was like, okay, people are complaining they can't afford 25K. So I said, okay, pay me 5K and you can come and spend a few days with me. This was the recording. Mikey, do we have any more of these? Hey, Ronald, are you there? Maybe we should, this content was evergreen. What that means is content that will last forever because I taught marketing principles. Does that make sense? For the next probably 7 to 8 years, I sold this for years and years to come. So write this down. Do the work once, get paid forever. Right now, if you look at your income, ask yourself, how much of your income every single month comes from assets that you created 2 to 5 years ago? I'm talking about digital assets. I'm talking about funnels. I'm talking about offers. I'm talking about joint venture partnerships. I'm talking about podcasts and YouTube videos. Because right now, what you have to realize, and this is again a part that a lot of people kind of miss out on, and I want to share this with you, is your income today is a direct reflection of the actions that you took 1 to 3 years ago. You guys get that? Okay, so if you're like, why are some people making 500K a month and then you're struggling to make 50 grand a month or even 10 grand a month? Why? It's because of the actions that you took 1 year ago. So if you don't take a new action, then nothing will change. That motivates me a lot. Does that make sense, you guys? Okay, I realized, hey, you know what? I have funnels. For example, this exact funnel that you are all part of is a multi-million-dollar campaign. Do you know when it was born? Before the pandemic. How many years ago was that? 2 years ago. Are you guys following? So 2 years ago, we built a system. And you know what we changed? Just before today's call, I literally said to my tech guy, quickly go in, change their day, because we're going to run it again end of the month. Do you understand what I'm saying, guys? So if I said to you now, hey, let's sit down, let's figure out how I'm going to help you get to $10,000, $50,000, $100,000 a month. You follow our stuff, you're going to get to at least 10 to 50K a month. Guaranteed, you're going to do way more than what you're doing right now. If you have a working brain and you're willing to work hard, you're willing to follow instructions, you leave your ego at the door, you come as a good student. When Jamal came, Jamal was a hotshot consultant, you know, he's working for these companies. And then the pandemic humbled most people. It humbled him. Came in, I said, listen, just leave the ego at the door and come to us as a good student. Okay. And this is what we can help you with. And now look at him now. £100,000 in the last 4 months. Where I'm from in the UK, most people don't even make £50,000 a year. He's made that, and by the way, he spends zero. How much? Zero on paid on advertising. Does that make sense? Because he tapped into free, write this down, free traffic sources. And so when you're starting off with us, our accelerator programs or our inner circle mastermind programs or whatever, we help you get to 250K to even $1 million cash with 0 ad spend. That's our goal. Okay, that's our goal. Is that a good goal to get to? Yeah, absolutely. So let's go through this. Mikey, can you just close the doors, please? There's too many bugs coming in. I live right on the water, so it's really nice to hear the waves, but I'm looking at the ceiling and it's just filled with bugs. Now the bugs are coming on my laptop. Okay, so and I don't want to kill the bugs or whatever, you guys. Anyway, is this been valuable for you guys so far? How many of you have got an aha from this? Let me know. That's what I'm looking for, guys. I'm looking for ahas, because sometimes it's through these stories that you're going to be like, what did he just say? He created this thing. He charged people $5,000. People paid him $5,000 when he was like 10 years ago. And he's still got this thing and it still can be sold on the internet. Some of you probably paid for this when you joined this challenge. Do you understand what I'm saying, guys? But this asset was built like 9-10 years ago. Okay, so let's go through. So I want to go over the funnels methodology. Okay, so this part is a 7-part component. Okay, can you guys all see this? If you can all see, I need you guys just to show me the number 7 quickly, everyone. Ismail, can you see everyone? Because I want to move forward. And I won't move forward until they show me. Number 7, okay, good, they got it. Okay, so the funnels methodology, once you get this is the absolute foundation that you can build your offers and everything else on. I'm going to give you a quick little crash course, and I'm going to move on this real fast. So the number 1 is finding your dream client. So yesterday I shared with you, my dream client is usually someone after 35. So 35, 45, 55, in that bracket. The reason is because the programs that I promote, I only want to deal with a specific type of person. That's it. If you come to me and you're like, hey man, I'm 20 years old, I'm like struggling to buy food, I'm like, I'm sorry, take my free stuff, I can't help you. Does that make sense? If you come to me and you say, hey, this is my past experience, this is what I've done, I've been successful in my life, I've had a great job, blah, 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 great career. I've tried many different businesses and I'm looking to start online. Most likely we can have a conversation that's very different. Yes or no? Yes? Give me a thumbs up if that's making sense. And if you're like, yeah, but how am I going to attract people? Listen, from my last count, from what I've seen, there's 53 million millionaires in the world. So don't tell me that you don't know that if there's enough rich people in the world. Can we agree that if you say someone is a millionaire, they could be classed as rich? Yes or no? Okay. Glenda, there's 50 million of them all over the world. You could just say, my target market is only millionaires. And if you're not a millionaire, don't come and do business with me. Do you guys get that? You can say, hey, I only work with people that have a 7-figure company, or they have a 7-figure mindset. So finding your dream ideal client. The wrong client will suck your life and suck your energy. The right client will give you the right energy. Finding your dream client. How do you get them? You have to actively have funnels that attract them, okay? And you want to have clients that are a high strategic value, okay? What this means is that they are willing to pay a premium for you to solve their problem. Now, if I said to you, Glenda, you have this expertise. I'm going to show you how to build XYZ business, and this is going to be an investment of, say, $50,000, but you'll have a clear roadmap to getting to $50,000 a month. 500K a year. And then if you do it right, you can scale to $5 million a year. Would that be a good investment? Yes or no? So remember on day one, I talked about poor people always think about, oh, how much does it cost? Rich people think, how much is it going to make me? That's the big difference, okay? Like, I don't know about you guys, but when I was growing up, that's basically what I was taught. Oh, look for prices, go for discounts, ask for negotiate, collecting coupons and stuff like that. So I had to do a lot of mindset work in my early years, probably when I was around 19 to 20, 21, 22. By the time I was 23, I made my first $1 million. And I was like, oh my gosh, this is the greatest hack in the world. Here's the greatest hack. You want to get somewhere? Pay for it. Does that make sense? You are here, you want to get there. Pay for it. If I go to the gym and there's 50 different machines and I'm looking at them and I'm like, what do I do? Well, I can just pay my trainer $100 an hour or £100 an hour or whatever. And he can show me the 80-20. He can show me the different machines. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Can you hear me?
Sorry?
Can you hear me?
Hey, Ismail?
No, Stacy.
So give me 1 second, please. Hey, guys, please do not unmute your mic. Okay, so we use Zoom, and Zoom allows anyone to scribble on my screen. Don't do that. Otherwise, we will kindly ask you to leave, aka just kick you off the Zoom. Okay, I've had this in the past. And also, please don't unmute your mic because there's obviously 100 plus people live watching this. So we want to be respectful to everyone. Is that all good? Can we just all agree on this? Give me a thumbs up. Yes. Give me that thumbs up, Jack. Don't just look at me. Okay, good. All right, there you go. So the reason why I share this is we have to always think of, hey, what can I, so for example, I went to the gym for like 10 years. I didn't lose much weight. I struggled with weight, overeating. Then I'd go to the gym and I would have a challenge with using these machines. Then I hire a trainer, okay, in the last probably 6 to 12 months. And today I just checked, I've lost 28 pounds. Woohoo! Okay, so my suit finally fits me. There you go. All right, and I feel good. So I go to the trainer and I ask him, what machines do I need to use? And he just tells me one simple hack, okay? One simple hack. And he goes, because I would go to the gym and I would get overwhelmed by looking at everyone else. And I'm like, oh my gosh, they all have six-pack and I'm the only overweight kid here, okay? Anyone else feel like that when you're like, when you try to join a program, you're like, everyone else is younger than me. Why is everyone else so fast? Like they speak so clearly and articulate and they have confidence in camera. Well, guess what? It's through practice, okay? And so when I go to him, he says to me, hey, just focus on one thing. And then I said, okay, I want to lose weight. He goes, okay, boxing. I thought, ew, how would I want to do boxing? Okay. By the way, this is someone who never was into any sports ever. Okay. I don't think I've ever watched a single football match in my entire life. So that's just me. Okay. And then he basically gets me to do boxing. I fall in love with this one sport. I practice every day. And then I realized, wow, this is helping me lose weight. So sometimes what happens is, instead of trying to come in and say, oh, okay, this is the program I want to buy, I want to build, I want to write a book, I want to do a podcast, I want to do all of these 10 things, just focus on one small activity. Does that make sense? Because let me tell you, if you focus on, especially in our VIP programs, what we do with our clients is we teach them how to have something called small wins. So in the gym, because I started boxing, right, I had a small win. Now I'm like, okay, after 1 or 2 months, I'm like, you know what? Let's go and do weights, okay? And how many of you have ever done what they call a chest press? You know, when you lie down and how many, just raise your hand? Okay. So imagine me, my first chest press, there's no weights. It's just the bar. And the bar is going all wonky like this. So that's how bad I was. And then he basically starts putting on weights. And now, let's just say I can push maybe 70 kg. I don't know how much that is. in pounds or whatever. But I built it up. So in our programs, what we do is we teach our clients to have small wins so you can build on the momentum. Okay. And one of them is, how do you go and attract your first 10 clients? Okay. So where is your ideal clients? Maybe your ideal clients are on emails. Maybe they're on Instagram. Maybe they're on shout outs. Maybe they're on organic posts. Okay. Where are they right now? And who are they? So this is one client hunting strategy. Okay. On Facebook, on LinkedIn, you can go, you can start adding friends. You can start creating engagement posts. Okay. This is like one strategy that we teach out of so many different strategies. We also have another strategy where you set up a post and people start coming to you. Okay. Here's what really helped me go from 6 to 7 figures really fast. How many of you guys want to go from 0 to 6 and then 6 to 7 figures really fast? Okay. At 6 figures, you're just getting your base. At 10 grand a month, you can just about pay your bills and have some money for fancy dinners. Where you want to get to is 30K to 50K a month. Okay. In my opinion, that's where you can start to really enjoy the fruits of your labor. Okay. And then at 100 grand a month, just like how you wash your hands with soap, you want to make 100 grand a month as your hygiene standard. How many of you want that? So no matter what happens, minimum 100 grand a month. It's only 3 grand a day. If you've never done that, then it's hard. Just like going to the gym every day. Now I go to the gym, there's no friction whatsoever. I drive to the gym. I actually hate driving. But when it's time for the gym, I'm happy. I'm smiling to the gym. Okay. So the reason why I'm sharing this with you is because at different stages, you're going to want different things. Here's the biggest thing that helped me go from 6 to 7 figures. I stopped hunting and I started attracting. I went from being the hunter to being the hunted. That's when I discovered, oh my gosh, I can have people from all over the world come to me. For example, Russell Turner, give me a wave. Did I go to your house, Russell, knock on your door, buy you a cup of coffee, beg you to come onto this live challenge today? Absolutely no. Did I do that with anyone here? No. But you came here because you chased me instead of me chasing you. I became the hunted instead of the hunter. As soon as I got this, Jack, I hope you're listening. That's when my business exploded to 7 figures. Did anyone else get an aha from this? So ask yourself, actually type into the chat box, aha. I want to see at least 100 ahas. Let's go. Before I move on, I need to see 100 ahas, then we go. Okay. Remember, this is part of the engagement. You have the engagement, you have the energy, you're gonna create more. Okay, so let's go. So client attraction strategy is an example of this. Sorry, 1 second. There you go. We want multiple sources to come to us. Okay. We want multiple sources of people, of traffic coming to us. Okay. Now, just like what I shared before with you guys, okay, I can come over here. I'll put my book up here just for the branding purposes. Okay. And watch this. I'm just going to shoot a video that looks something like this. Hey, what's going on? Thanks so much for joining the 5-day challenge. I hope you've been enjoying it. Listen, we're about to be wrapping up, and I wanted to invite you to claim your funnels audit call. By the way, have you guys been enjoying the challenge? Well, you can't hear them, but it seems like they're waving and they're giving us a thumbs up, which means they've been enjoying it. They're taking advantage of the free funnels audit. So if you're watching this right now, make sure you click around this video and come and get your free funnels strategy session. This way, me and my team can work out where you're at and what do you need. Maybe you're starting off and you want to get to your first 7 figures, or maybe you already have a business and you're like a doer and you just want to get on with it. You want to even get to your first 8 figures. So regardless if you're just starting off or you're already looking to scale up, click around this video right now and get started. I look forward to speaking to you then. Bye for now. Guys, you see that? 1 minute, right? So if I shoot this ad now, can I use this over and over again? 100 times, 1,000 times, yes or no? That's a digit. How many of you could do a video like this on your iPhone? Do you see any fancy equipment? None. How many of you would do that if you knew you could make an extra $10,000 to $30,000 a month? Mikey, tomorrow let's show Ankur's case study. Okay, and I'm going to show you this guy that I helped who was from India. He lives in Dubai. He's actually in London right now, and he just invited me to go see him tomorrow. So I'm probably going to do an interview with him tomorrow, and I'll release that for you guys. But that guy, because I did a video on my iPhone, that experience fully transformed my entire life. Because what happened was the guy got on stage, the guy got on the video, and he basically starts telling people, he met me, he was making $500 a month, $500 a month in India, okay? Then he meets me and he made 180 grand in 6 months. Now, here's the thing, okay? He has the most strongest Indian accent. So he starts saying stuff like he's making 20 grand a month. He's saying stuff like he's making 180 grand and he couldn't pronounce the word Lamborghini. Now that video went almost semi-viral. It's still one of the most viewed videos ever. Now my leads and my subscribers from all over the world, especially America, they watch this video and they're going crazy. They're like, how is it that this guy's making this much money? Boom. Guess what they do? They start coming to me, wiring me 5,000, 10,000. In fact, the first few ladies from America that ever paid me $25,000 each, they came from watching that one video. It's been 13 years. This is why I make videos. Do you guys get that? So write this down. You got to make videos. Okay. Now, if you don't like making videos, one, you learn how to like it, just like what I said to you. You will enjoy anything if the reward is big enough. You will do anything that's required if the reward is big enough, yes or no? And sometimes you won't even believe in yourself. That's why you need to have people around you that believe in you. When we select who we're going to work with, they have to go through a qualification process. They have to go through 1 or 2 phone calls. So we have to make sure that they're mentally sane. They're going to come in and do the work. And you know what I mean? When you've been in the game for so long, you value your sanity. So I don't care if someone wants to give me $50,000, 100 grand, but if they have a, you know, and not, let's just say what it is, if they have a shitty attitude with a big ego, we're just going to decline them. How many of you would like to do that? In the beginning, when you need money, you have to suck it up. And it's almost like, I just take everyone's money. You know, after you get to a stage, you're like, nah, you just get to choose who you work with. Okay, so that's where we're at in our business. We've been like this for a long time. So that's why we also don't, I mean, if something is less than 5 grand and under, like anyone can buy, it's a simple course. I think it's $6,000 for our digital courses. But in our VIP programs, everyone has to go through basically a phone process. Does that make sense? Okay, because what that is it's a qualifier. You need to write this down. Have multiple qualifiers. Okay. So what I was showing, by the way, is this valuable for you guys? Is this valuable been so far? So when you're signing off and you're like, oh, but I don't know if I want to do this. Okay, if I incentivize you with $100,000, would you do it? Yes or no? If I said to you right now, what's between you and the next level of your business, you got to lose. You got to lose yourself, and you got to reinvent yourself. Would you do it? Yes or no? Here's something I want to share with you because I'm talking about this quite often, right? For 10 years, I struggled with my weight. Obviously, I made tens of millions of dollars, whatever, right? But I found one key thing amongst all of my friends and mentors, except for Warren Buffett, that is, okay, that make over $100 million a year. You guys don't want to know what it is? They're all healthy. Okay, now I'm not going to give you any health advice, okay, because that's not my expertise. My expertise is funnels and making lots of money. However, what I found out was, oh my gosh, these guys are really, some of them are very jacked. Some of them, like one of the guys I know, he just sold his company for $100 million. And I think most of it is in cash. Okay. Guess what his body looks like? Ripped six-pack. And I was like, okay. One thing I haven't done is I haven't focused on my health for about 13 years. You know what I should do? I should get fit. Maybe it's going to unlock a different level of creativity. Yes or no? Did I want to go to the gym? No. Okay. And my gym is not a normal gym. It's basically what they call a luxury health club, which means you go there, there's sauna, steam room, massage, and extra all sorts of other stuff. So my 1 hour gym session becomes a 3-4 hour experience almost every single day. Okay. Now, no one needs that kind of pampering. But here's the thing. I didn't want to do it. I did it. Now, 12 months later, I'm like, this is the greatest thing ever. Because this is a multiplier in other areas of my life. Does that make sense? This is what you have to do. You have to find the multipliers in your life. Maybe it's a mentor. Maybe it's a mastermind. Maybe it's a funnel. Maybe it's a new traffic source. So for example, I used to only have one traffic source. How many of you have ever tried to make money in one way? And that money income was taken away. So in my 20s, I had this business that was doing around maybe $300,000 to $500,000 a month. And I thought this was the greatest thing ever. I mean, I worked the least amount. I was making money like left, right, center. It was absolutely crazy. And then one day, boom, it gets shut down. Okay. And I remember, because I had savings, investments, and other streams of income, I was just about good. Just about means making at least 100 grand a month. Okay. Remember what I said? You have to have a standard for you. Okay. My friends, they've been in the game way longer than me. 5-10 years. They got family, kids, wife, houses, mortgages, all of this. That was their sole income. What happened? And again, this is, I'm just going to tell you, one of them, he overdosed and died. He was stressed. And, you know, when you experience these things, you're like, well, man, I don't want to ever do that. Does that make sense? Again, now, not that I'm into drugs and stuff like that, but I'm just giving you an example. You don't need to wait for an extreme situation to make the changes that you know you need to make today. Does that make sense? So for me, man, once I figured out, okay, you know what? It's client attraction. I need people to come to me. I don't care where they're from, as long as they fit. Bam, 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 these things, they need to come to me. That's when the game changed. Next, understanding your pricing. Okay. So tiered pricing structure, just like Apple. What does Apple do? You can go and spend $1,000 on an iPhone. Then there's 3-4 different variations of an iPhone. Yes or no? You can get the red limited edition one. You can get one with extra memory. You can get blah, blah, blah. You go and buy yourself an iPad. Guess what they do? There's like 3 or 4 different sizes of iPads. Yes or no? This is called tiered pricing. When you go into McDonald's, not that I recommend McDonald's, but when you go into McDonald's, what happens? They have like medium, large, extra large burgers. Yeah or no? Or extra large fries. Okay. Where's your tiered pricing? You got to have tiered pricing. So we want to make sure that you have this in action. So which one is easier? $0 to $50,000 a month. Money metrics. You want to sell $50 programs or you want to sell $5,000 programs? $5,000 programs. Pick one. If you want to have a life, you want to make money, this is what you want to do. So one of the reasons why you want to do this, and write this down, profits equals sanity plus advertising power. For example, Jack, if you now could make, if you could help 10 people and you charge them $5,000 a month. So let's just say you're just starting off, you don't have any experience, you're not sure what to sell. You can find a person, for example, a business owner that has a problem, and you can charge them $5,000 a month. And for $5,000 a month, you're going to help 10 people, only 10 people a month. Now you make $50,000 a month. Maybe you can do this, plus you get a VA, start off from the Philippines. It'll cost you maybe $1,000 a month, 500 to 1,000, sometimes $1,500 a month, whatever the case is. You and a VA, you get to $50,000 a month. Can you now take some of that $50,000, maybe $20,000? Can you now hire more people? Yes or no? Guys, when I got started 13 years ago, I had 2 people in the UK. They were basically a school friend and my cousin, and all I could afford to pay them was $300 a month. And then I had 2 VAs, virtual assistants from the Philippines. One of them is called Jingle. 13 years later, I still pay her money. Okay, I still employ her like part-time, hourly, she does like hourly stuff. 13 years later. By the way, between those 4 people, I made my first $1 million. After that, I was like, okay, I need to now upgrade the people that I hire. Does that make sense? Here's another mindset shift. Right now, you're hiring people. The people around you, you've hired them. They take your mental space, they take your mental energy, they take maybe your capital, your income, they take your brain power. So if you want to upgrade your income, you also have to upgrade the people that you have in your life. Yes or no? And if you don't do this, then it only goes downhill. So keep this in mind. Here's the next part. What's holding you back? Maybe you don't know what to sell. Most of the customers that come to us, they don't know what to sell. Some of them have an agency business model, which is really great because you can then do middleman automated delivery services. Sometimes people come, they do affiliate marketing. Sometimes people come to us and they want to become a funnels consultant. So they help their business grow, or they help other people's business grow. And probably my favorite one, especially right now, okay, right now, 2023 to maybe 2025, I would say, is the high ticket offers. So this is where you provide a premium service for anywhere from $5,000 to $10,000. If you're someone who's got a lot of experience, you can charge $20,000 and even beyond. Okay, but when you're starting off, hey, just charge maybe $5,000. So I'll give you an example. A lady comes to me, her name is Dr. Holly, right? Now she helps American students get into the top universities in the world, guaranteed. How many of you would love to pay for a service if you knew your kids or your loved ones could go to a top university? Anyone? I mean, I don't even believe in universities, but when I saw her offer, I was like, that would be really cool if I go into Harvard and she could get me in. I mean, I would go there for a month and then probably drop out. So she comes across to my events and she buys my Inner Circle Mastermind program. And I ask her basically what she does. And she's saying, you know, she's been doing this for about 10 to 20 years. She can help anyone. I was like, this is crazy. I'm like, and she's basically telling me she's got clients from, say, Singapore, all over America, all over the world, China and whatnot. And so she goes to me that she charges, I can't remember what she was charging, like maybe $500 or something. Okay. Instantly, I put her prices up for like $5,000 to $7,000. And as we start doing research, guess what we find out? There are parents in America that are willing to pay $100,000, get this, to $750,000 to get their kids into these private schools. Now, you might be like, oh my gosh, I would never do that. You're not their customer, ladies and gentlemen. Do you understand what I'm saying? But go and talk to a parent who has spent 10, 20, 30 years working their life away. Now they're so passionate that they want their kids to have the best connections, the best education. Do you really think someone that has $10 million net worth or $100 million net worth, they really care about spending 50 grand, 100 grand? Yes or no? They don't. She even told me that some of the kids that she's helped get into these universities are friends with some of the richest people in the world. You will all know them, Gates. Okay, so I don't want to even say. But what I'm sharing with you is, and I'm like, well, why don't you increase your prices? And she's like, well, I don't know how. I'm like, listen, you come to me, I'm gonna help you. We need a funnel. We help her set up a funnel. We positioned her as an expert because she's helped more than 10 people and all of them have had success rate. Do you guys see where I'm going with this? So sometimes it's not even about you figuring out what you're going to offer. You just need professional help and someone that's going to show you, here's how to do it. Are we on the same page, everyone? Okay, cool. So next, lack of clarity holds most people back. Okay, this is why we've mentioned multiple times. And again, the reason why we're saying, hey, make sure you go in and just put www.funnels.com/audit. Ismail, if you can just drop another link, because we have people coming in and out, and lots of new people are still coming in. I can see people joining the class now. So if you're just joining us and you feel like, I wish I have some clarity, listen, everyone on my team, they're very capable of giving you exactly what you need and what you need versus what you want. Okay, so be sure to take advantage of this, funnels.com/audit. Here's how you can basically focus on this, okay? You need to have a product that's already in demand and it provides a solution for an existing problem, a cure rather than prevention, okay? So very few times people will go to the gym to prevent themselves from putting on weight. Most people will say, I need to go to the gym because I want to overcome the excess fat, the lack of muscle that I have. Does that make sense? So we want to always provide a solution. This is a niche test I discovered from a mentor of mine. I'm going to share this with you guys. Is that cool with you guys? Is this valuable so far? And let's do this because I'm going to grab a sip of water. Let's get everyone to stand up and just shake your body around. Shake your body around. Okay. One of the things I do is I actually have a, you guys can't see, but now you can. Okay. This is actually a kettlebell. I have a 16 kg kettlebell right next to me. Okay. And so, I mean, I'm not going to swing right now because I don't want to rip my suit, but I will have things that will give me energy, right? So every 1 or 2 hours, you know, usually this is my stand-up desk. This is how I work behind the scenes. I have a trampoline. A trampoline is probably the best $50 you're going to spend. When I spent, I don't know, $20,000 with Tony Robbins, I went to one of his health retreats. I fell in love with the trampolines. Okay. So you want to buy yourself a mini trampoline, and anytime you feel overwhelmed, anxious, frustrated, sad, just jump on the trampoline for a minute, get your heart beating, and then you'll be back. Okay. So that's a little tip. Whew. Okay. So here's the niche test. Okay. How do I know if it's going to be a winning product? Is someone else already doing this? Yes. Number 2, are they easy to reach on social media? Number 3, are they passionate and are they irrational about their goals? Do you guys get that? If you can answer these 3 questions, then you can have a niche test winner. Okay. So for example, anytime I go after a niche, I ask myself, are they easy to reach? Were you guys easy to reach? Yeah. You guys are on social media, yes or no? Now, if Russell turned around And I met him in person and he goes, oh, no, nah, bro, I don't do Facebook. I'm like, all right, mate, good luck. What am I going to do? I'm not going to convince you to go and use Facebook, yes or no? Because I'm not in the business of convincing. Okay. We want to do business with people that are already in the business of what we're offering. Keep this in mind. Next, so we want to start off with on-demand, value first, and tiered structure that will get you to profit zone faster, okay? So on-demand, value first is essentially high-ticket courses that help people. The third component, niche down your marketing message. So a niche market, specialized but profitable. So for example, vegan is 1%, vegetarian is 3%, standard people that will eat most things, say 96%. Fat loss preference in the US. Specialized but profitable corner of the market. A market is a group of people, large or small, who share some common interest, desire, or problem. I went through a phase where I stopped having meat and I fell in love with this. Actually, I shouldn't say fell in love, but I started having vegan meat. Okay. And then I basically realized they have way too many chemicals and it's no bueno for me anyway, for my body. Basically, just good old steak, meat, fresh eggs, some vegetables, honey, those things are good. Even milk, I can't drink milk, but if the milk is absolutely fresh from the farm, straight off the cow, then I can drink it. Okay. So if you see, that's a tiny segment of the market. Yes or no? I'll tell you though, that guy in the market that I go to every Sunday with my wife, he makes more money than everyone else. And he's just an old man there with glass bottles of fresh milk. Okay. And we go there every single week. So specialized always beats generalized. So your message is about being able to cut directly through the noise and communicate specifically what is it that you do for them and how. So here's the framework. Are you guys all ready? Okay. So I help, Ismail, if you can copy the text, put the text inside of the Facebook group, put a thread up, and then get everyone to comment on that thread. Okay. So here, what I want you guys to do is think about who you can help. Even if you don't have a product or service yet, if I said to you, okay, what if you had a product or service? What if you could take the last 5 years, ask yourself, what did you get paid for? You could say whatever job, whatever passion, whatever industry, right? And I want all of you guys to do this with me right now. So here's what we're going to do. Actually, I'll just post the group. Okay, so over here, and let me give you guys an example. Okay, Ismail, you can see my screen, correct? I help. Okay, so here's 2 examples. So I help motivated 40+ females, or females 40+ or males drop 5 to 10 pounds in just 6 weeks without restrictive, boring diets, so that they can finally feel more confident, energetic, and like their old young selves again. Okay, so let's just say young selves again. Okay, I help motivated 60+ year old females. Yeah, females. Okay, so this is just one example. Another one is I help local businesses triple their revenue without spending an extra dollar on ads, so they can focus on building the best products and customer experience instead of worrying about cash flow and payroll. Are you guys with me so far? Okay, so I'm going to post this framework for you guys. Okay, so then I'm going to post it on the group. Mikey, how do I go and then share my, because they can't see my screen now, can they? Okay, 1 second. So I'll just post this here. Ismail, if you can come in and post as well. So I'm just going to post an image and I'm just going to put this one. I'm going to write my one. I help experts create 6 and 7-figure automated courses and agency programs using funnels in 30 days or less. So they can finally create a income that they deserve and dream about. Okay, so this is just an example. What's yours? All right, let's do this. And I'm going to ask all of you to go in and do this. It's in the Facebook group right now. Ismail, if you can drop a link. Oh, here, I can actually do this. This is cool. There you go. Okay, can you guys all see that? Okay, click this link and do it. Let's go. And if you need help, Ismail is there. My team, Reynolds, is there. So we're going to do this with you guys now. Let's do this. Let's do this together so we all go through this, okay? Okay, can you guys see this? Yeah? Everyone doing it? I'm just going to get a sip of water. Be right back. Yeah, go and share that. Okay, let's see. Let's see you guys. Now, remember, your job is to post it in the Facebook group. Okay, let's see. Ismail, so we've got some new members in the group, so please tag them. Okay, guys, please go ahead. Click on this link. Who's got it? Who's got them? All right, let's read this out. It's exciting stuff. Okay, so I see it. Let's go in. Let's go, go, go. Okay, Adil Ismail Mughal. I help businesses and organizations to transform the conference rooms into powerful video conferencing and collaboration rooms in 2 hours without interfering with their current setups or even drilling a hole in the walls, guaranteed. Okay, I like that. I help gym owners get more members in just 14 days without paying for ads. Like it, Deidre. Deidre, that's a lovely name. Okay, Brian Foster. I help small business owners get clients to increase increase in just 30 days without them worrying how to get new leads. I like it. Okay. So this is just a starting point. You could go, hey, for example, we help our clients create evergreen funnels that gets them to XYZ using the funnels methodology. Okay, so you can go much more deep into this. For now, I just wanted to just play around with this, guys. And then I want you guys to do this because tomorrow we're going to build on this. Okay, we're going to build on this. Why? Because I'm going to show you how to get a paying client, either a paying client or even a free client to come into your world. Okay, last time, Greg managed to make $10,000. You probably, or I think it was 10,000 pounds, literally whilst doing the 5-day challenge with us. How many of you would like to bag a sale whilst you're here? Yeah, make sure, do this, and then be sure to book in your funnels audit call. Okay, on that call, my team will identify, hey, you know what? This is what your experience is. Hey, Abid, you've been doing this for the last 20 years. Okay, cool. This is what we can do for you. That's what we can help you with. So go ahead, do this, okay? I help struggling detailers. Ismail, if you can just come over here and you can just use the mic here and then just read out some of them on your phone. That would be great. Okay, so yeah, go, 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 go. If you're just joining us, make sure that you are filling this out right now, okay? Post in the Facebook group. Start reading it, man.
I help American businesses scale up their marketing presence without paying for extra ads or services, helping them create a steady flow of new clients. That's Benjamin. Kiva, I help 30-plus-year men and women be their authentic selves in just 30 days without living to please others so they can live free. Clyde helps real estate investors get funds they need to fund their next project and to achieve their goals by having fast closings in as little as 3 days without that. Some of these are really long. Without the hassles of bank fees and paperwork. Let's see. So Deidre helps gym owners get more members in just 14 days without paying for ads so they can finally earn more while working less. That sounds good. Brian helps small business owners get their new clients to increase in just 30 days without them worrying how to get new leads so they can finally have peace of mind with their business. Garrett, I help struggling detailers get to 10K per month in 30 days without having to deal with clients that don't respect their worth. And then do we have more on the Zoom?
As we're just gonna give it another 1 more minute for you guys to put it in right now, because next we have some really cool stuff that we need to go over. So you want to do this. Okay, let's read them out. Okay, cool. Okay, nice. Okay, good stuff. So we've got a handful, more people are writing. I'm gonna give it 1 more minute. Okay, now here's the thing. It doesn't have to be perfect. By the way, how many of you have not done it yet? Just by a show of hands. And how many of you have done it? Okay, so here's a little mental hack as well that you want to ask yourself, right? So for example, Judy, if you can send the day 2 to my WhatsApp, please, the day 2. So if you see, and if you just ask yourself this question, why haven't I done it? Maybe you don't know what to write. That's totally respectful. But remember what I said, it doesn't have to be right. You could literally just say, I help people become happier. How many of you can make someone smile? Rick? Okay. Every time Rick WhatsApps me, okay, he makes me smile. Right? Rick could just say, I make someone smile. You could be like, I help, doesn't matter. The whole point is to just put it out there. Now, here's the other side of this. If you didn't do it and you're on the fence, you're like, oh, I don't want to put myself out there. Why? To make money, you have to promote something, whether it's a product, a service, yourself, you have to promote something. If you do not promote, you do not get paid. More promotions equals more profits. Now, some people, I know from even people in my family, even when I was, I guess, really young, okay, we're taught to be maybe quiet. We're taught to not promote yourself. We're taught to don't talk too much. But in the world, the people that make the money, the people that build the businesses, like Elon Musk, he talks a lot. Do you guys see that? He's on Twitter tweeting a lot. So you're either speaking or you are writing. So keep this in mind. And I just realized that the camera is way high on this challenge. Oh my gosh, okay, tomorrow we're gonna lower it. Okay, it should be like something like this. It's way high. So Mikey, tomorrow we'll fix it. But as of now, we're good. So again, guys, we have okay, and I am just going to get you guys the next worksheet. So okay. All right, we're good here. Now here's basically what we're gonna do. Mikey, how do I share my screen again? Okay, I got it.
That's not one. That's not one. That's fine.
So next, marketing message. You guys ready for this? By the way, Ismail, which one do you like the most? What's that one? So how many of you guys did that work? Just by a show of hand. Yeah. Okay, now we're keeping the prizes for tomorrow. Okay, we're keeping the prizes for tomorrow. All right, so next thing. Marketing message, your target market. What's my message to my market and the media I will use to reach my target market? Mikey?
Yeah.
The TV is off. So I'm not sure what's going on.
See you. Plug it in, plug it in.
It's fine. I'll just, can they see my screen?
No.
No, they can't see my screen.
You could before you try to.
Okay, guys, so we have a slight technical issue. And we are going to try to figure this out for you guys. Let's see. So I'm frozen? Oh no. No, they can see. Okay. All right. So whilst Mike is doing this, I'm just going to carry on. Okay, so guys, basically, I don't even know how to share my screen. No, but I can't see Zoom. Zoom. Share screen. Okay, fine. I've got it. Okay, Mike, Ismail, can you see my screen? Guys, if you can give us 1 second. Where we at? No, they can just, okay, I'm just going to carry on like this, okay? So guys, we basically talked about FUN, okay? So basically niching down your marketing message. Okay, next one is nailing down. So niching down on your marketing message. The next one is nailing down your marketing message, okay? So one is niche down, okay, your marketing message. The next one is nail down your marketing message in terms of what systems you're going to use, okay? So you nail down your marketing medium, right? Are we good? Yes, no?
Trying to find a Zoom.
Where's the Zoom? Do you want to just come and do this? All right, guys, we're going to just try it one more time. Okay, if it doesn't work, I'll just carry on. Is it working?
Yeah.
Okay, so they can see my screen, yeah? Okay, so we basically talked about marketing message, okay? So essentially, in every single promotion product that you have, you want to always have a, Mikey, why don't you just do this? If you can grab the webcam and just put it on top of my laptop, that would be great. Okay, so if we see here, okay, marketing message, target market, what's my message to the market? There you go. Perfect. You know, how's this, you guys? Is this good? Is this any good? Glenda, give me a thumbs up if it's any good. This also shows you that you do not need thousands of dollars worth of equipment. Okay, one tiny little webcam does the job. How many of you guys realize that you don't need the perfect tools to make lots of money on the internet? Okay, so next, what do we have? We have the promotional plan. What's the promotional plan? The marketing message. Target market, my message to my market, the media I will use to reach my market. So in my case, we use the target market as, let's just say, most of my clients are Americans, UK, Canada, Australia. I would say 90%, and then the rest are split between, say, Singapore, Hong Kong, Malaysia, and a few other countries, okay, Europe or whatever. Okay, but the majority of my clients come from one group of customers. Okay, now the biggest mistake I see people make is they try to appeal to everyone and anyone. I only want to appeal to a handful of people. Does that make sense? Okay, next one is nailing down the marketing message. Okay, or nailing down the marketing. When we say marketing message, it basically breaks down, and I'm going to show you. So this one should say marketing system, not message system. Okay, so nailing down the marketing system. So in this case, what is the marketing system here? Landing page, video sales letter. This is, they can book a phone call. So this is a 3-step system. E stands for exciting your prospects. So if you think about it, you want to ask yourself, how can you excite and educate your prospects? So in our case, if you see here, okay, we are getting people to complete their homework, and then we get them to complete post. This is part of the excitement. For our VIP clients, we literally have a step-by-step, do this, do that, do this, do that. This is how you get your first client. This is how you get your first 10 clients, guaranteed. This is how you make your first 100K. If you follow these steps, there's no reason why you can't make your first $50,000 to $100,000 cash in the bank. Does that make sense? Andrew, are we on the same page? Why? Because we found if you throw too much at clients, say, for example, you join our program and there's too many things, then naturally what happens is that overwhelm kind of messes people up, and then they choose to find a shiny object. Okay. How many of you have ever experienced the shiny object syndrome? Yes, me too. Okay. And so what happens is, it's only when you focus on just one method. And for us, what we realize is if we just make it very simple here, step 1, step 2, step 3, and then every week you get live coaching, okay, to keep you accountable, then it just works. Okay. And then you have clients that will jump in and they'll share their insights. Okay. So exciting your prospects. Ask yourself, how can you deliver a world-class experience? And then how can you increase your lifetime customer value? Means how can you get people to come and buy more and more? And then how can you orchestrate and stimulate referrals? The next one is leveraging group coaching. Okay, that's what L stands for, is finding all the points of leverage. So this is a leverage effort. You want to use your time and resources effectively to reach everyone. So if you think about it, I talked about this digital course. I did a 3-day, 3-day event, put it into a program. Then I sold this for years. Okay, that's called leverage. You do the work once, you get paid forever. Live group coaching. This is leverage as well. Okay, we want to have people coming in, and instead of doing one-on-one work, we want to do leverage. Next one is structuring for scale. Okay, so if you don't have structuring for scale, then you're forever going to be stuck with doing the sales calls yourself. How many of you have ever done a business, then you realize the business has made you into a hostage? Anyone ever felt like that? You can do that in a job, right? Where you're like, man, I'm so passionate about my job. And then before you know it, I know, because some of my team members and employees, they'll tell me, they're like, hey, I came in to do one thing. Now you've thrown 5 things at me. And I'm like, in my mind, I'm like, suck it up and do it. But you can't say that, right? So I have to say it gently. So I have to say, okay, the more skills that you stack, the more money you're going to make. That's why I can have someone like Ismail who starts off with me, and then in 3 years can go from 0 to 10,000, 20, $30,000 a month, because he's stacked multiple skills. And whatever I throw at him, he can do very quickly. Does that make sense? So for you, what you have to focus on is what things in your business has massive amounts of leverage. So I'll give you another one. Every month or every 2 to 3 months, we'll host various different live events. Why? Because, for example, January, I have a client that's coming in and he wants 1 day with me, okay? And my day rate is $30,000 for 1 day. Yes, you heard that right. It's $30,000 for 1 day. So if you message my team, they'll tell you, if you want to spend a day with Shaqir, it's $30,000 or it's about 26,000 pounds, okay? By the way, how many of you would love to charge a day rate that high? Anyone? Okay, how about this? You charge it so high that you don't want to even do it. So the guy is ready to fly over from America, come over, and I say to him, with all due respect, if you pay me $30,000, which lots of people have done in the past, $20,000, $30,000, whatever, what tends to happen is you're going to be really overwhelmed at the end of the day, because it's a full intense day of just you and me. Instead, pay the $30,000 for 1 day, but if you pay a little bit extra as well, then you can spend like 3 days with my team, and that event is, say, $7,500. It's a boot camp. Because for me, I'm happy because after 1 day with me, he can also spend 3 days with my team. Does that make sense? In the beginning, even if he offered me 30K, I've told him straight up, hey, listen, it's a lot. I don't know, it's January the first month of the year. I don't know if I want to spend a whole day with you, no offense. But anyway, he's a great guy. So he came over and now his business is rocking and rolling. He's out there doing big stuff. So that is, I found that's a point where I can leverage it. Does that make sense? So now I'm actually documenting his entire story of him starting from zero to getting to 20K, 30K, 50K a month and beyond. And we've set a goal in 18 months for him to make $1 million. Does that make sense? And every month we're basically documenting behind the scenes. Why? Because I want to, that's another leverage point. Yes or no? Okay. Because basically I found out he had raised money for charities and he's really good on camera. So, and he's got confidence. I think he's in his 50s now. And he just wants to reinvent himself. How many of you would love to reinvent yourself? There you go, Glenda. Look at that. Yeah, raise your hand up high. Okay, I have found many of the people that come to us, they're in that transition stage where they're like, yo, I need to reinvent myself. Okay, whether it's for the for their next generation or for them to do something more challenging, more fulfilling. Okay, so scroll down. This is the summary of this entire thing. Okay, Ismail, if you can take a screenshot and post it in the group as well, please. Okay, nailing your messaging, niching down your perfect client customer, engaging your perfect customer, exciting them, leveraging the tech automation, leveraging the multiple profit structures, structuring your offers. Okay, so one of the things that happens as well is once we help you craft your offer and now you're making say 100K, 250K, even 500K a year. Now, if you want to structure a deal where you partner up with me, now we can promote you to my entire database. Does that make sense, you guys? So now you go from like, okay, making some money, say 6 figures, 100 grand, 500 grand a year to boom. How do you go from like 100K a year to like 3 million, $5 million a year? You partner up with other experts. Keep that in mind. That's one of the fastest ways for you to grow. Why? Because when you're at that stage and you've got a product that like we're going to help you build, okay, especially in our VIP Funnels Accelerator programs, we help you come up with your own digital course and program once it gets traction. So for example, like Jamal, he's now making say 25,000 pounds a month. It's good for him. But once he gets to like 50K, 100 grand a month, he might be like, oh my gosh, like I'm making $1 million a year. That's a lot of money for him. But imagine now I see him doing $1 million a year. How many of you know I'm going to go and ask him for a partnership? That's exactly what I'm going to do. I'm going to be like, hey, you know, I know this other company in your space is doing 10, $20 million a year. Do you want to partner up? By the way, this is exactly what happened to Ismail. Ismail came to one of my events, just like you guys here, except he came in an in-person event. And I saw him. He could run the whole thing from beginning to end. He had a lot of strengths and also some weaknesses, right? So I basically partnered up with him and then I helped him scale. And now basically we're business partners. Does that make sense? Okay. And now I'm basically helping him. And the next stage of that, of his agency is right now he can do say $50,000, $60,000 in a month. Right now, once he gets to $100,000 a month, and then he hits that for about 6 months, we're going to try and flip the whole business for about, I think, $3 million to $5 million for a cash exit. Does that make sense? Hey, and guess what, ladies and gentlemen, I'm always looking for my next partners. And the best partners that I have, you know who they are? They come along as students of mine. Okay, so if that's something that you guys want to do as well, where you're like, you know what, I'd love to build something and then sell it for a nice big exit, a big cash, 7-figure, multiple 7 figures. Like I said to you guys yesterday, you know, just one of my deals I sold to Russell Brunson for $1.3 million cash. Okay, it literally cost me $5,000 and he paid me $1.3 million. So this is what I've shared with you. This is what has helped me scale many companies, many brands, many businesses. And, you know, as I look around and I'm like, man, or ladies and gentlemen, what has really helped, it's the step-by-step process. And so I wanted to give you guys a real juicy bonus just because you guys have stayed till the end. Okay. And I'm going to basically walk you through a real crash course of 5 different funnels. Okay. So who's ready to see this? Say, show me the money. Type in, show me the money. I know we've gone on. Like, I like to over deliver. I wanted to keep this for around 2 hours. We've gone on for about an hour. I'll do maybe another 15, 20 minutes. But how many of you have had so much value from this already? By show of hands. How many of you guys experience and see, oh my gosh, this is a wealth of knowledge that I wish I had 10 years ago or 5 years ago? By show of hands. Okay. So how many of you here would love for me and my team to help you with this process? By a show of hands. Okay. Listen, in the next few days, we will open up enrollment for our accelerator program and my inner circle program. We're probably going to just offer one program because it seems like the people that want to work with me one-on-one, they've already applied, they've already booked the calls. But if you haven't, make sure you go to funnels.com/audit. We still have new people. Tanaria, you've joined us. Thank you so much for joining us. Okay. So these are 5 funnels that have generated approximately $20 million cash in 36 months. So it's in about 3 years. And the reason why I'm sharing this with you guys is with really to show you different funnels produce different income. They also attract different types of clients. And what's more is you only need one funnel to get to your first 7 figures. Okay. So write this down. One funnel, get to your first $1 million. You can do all the other fancy stuff later on, but let's go straight into it. So number 1 is something called a book funnel. This is basically a book like this, where I'll say, hey, come and get this book for maybe 20, 30 bucks. Okay. And if you buy this on Amazon, you're just going to get the book. But if you buy this on my website, then I'm going to give you 5 hours of free video trainings. Does this make the book more valuable? Yes or no? If you sell it on Amazon, you don't collect the person's details. If I sell this on my website, on my funnel, I get to collect the details. I get to collect your address, your email address, your phone number, so I can text you. This is valuable data, yes or no? So choose your own funnel and your own website versus Amazon. Amazon can wait afterwards. After you've made a bunch of money. On Amazon, can you offer upsells? No. On your website, can you offer upsells? Yes. For example, let's just say Abid. I help Abid write a book. He writes a book, he sells it for 20, 30 bucks. The first upsell is, hey, I know you're going to love the book. Listen, I've just put together 5 videos that's going to show you the 5 ways on how to become a highly paid IT professional. I've been in the IT space for X amount of years. I worked my way up. I made a lot of mistakes. I can show you how to avoid all these costly mistakes and take my 20 years of expertise. I have condensed it down in just 2 hours. Look, time with me is $1,000 an hour. So this is easily worth $2,000. Right now, you can get this for just one payment of $100. That's the script for Abid. Yes or no? He needs to sell a measly 3 of those a day, $100 a day, $300 a day, $100 a pop, $300 a piece a day. That's $10,000 a month. Digital course. How much does it cost for him to deliver? 0. Takes him 2 hours to record. Do you guys see where I'm going with this? You create it once, you get paid forever. I created this 10 years ago. You need one course, one program to create financial freedom. How many of you guys? Just one. Okay. Some people, financial freedom is 250 grand a year, 20K a month. Some people it's $1 million. Whatever your goals are your goals. Okay. I'm just sharing with you what you have to do. Then Abid's next. Remember, we're going to have upsells. Okay. That's the power of the book funnel. Then Abid goes, okay, guys, thanks so much for buying the course. I also have a online coaching program that's 3 months, and the price is valued at XYZ. But right now, I am putting it at a very affordable $9,000 for 3 months of access to me. And over the next 3 months, I'll help you transition from your job into a highly paid IT professional. Does that make sense? Now, if Abid can show someone how to make a measly extra $10,000 a year, would it be worth for him to charge $10,000 for his digital course? Yes or no? Yeah. Because say, imagine I was in the IT job and I was making 50 grand a year. And now I come across this guy called Abid Khan, and he's going to teach me how to become an IT professional. He's going to show me how to make an extra $10,000 per year. And I'm thinking, man, I just went to university. I got a bunch of university debt. I can afford to pay this guy 10 grand because over the next 10 years, I'll make an extra 100 grand. Yes or no? Now Abid says, oh, by the way, it's $9,000. And if you pay in full today, I'll give you $2,000 discount. It's $7K. Abid needs to sell just 5 of those programs. 7 times 5, that's $35,000 a month. Yes or no? Out of 7 people, it's just a numbers game. Out of 7 people, at least 1 to 2 of them will then inquire for a year-long mastermind. So if he's charging $9,000 or $7,000 for 3 months, what if he charged $15,000 for the whole year? 2 people will most likely say, okay, I'm in. That's an extra 30 grand a month. That's how you get to 50 grand a month, Abid. Was that valuable for you? Yeah, absolutely. Give me a thumbs up if that was valuable for the rest of you guys. Okay, so that's a classic example of a book funnel. The next one is what we call an automated webinar funnel. Listen, if you want to make $5,000, $10,000 paydays, okay? For example, right now, as I'm talking to you, I have webinar funnels. I have funnels. Ismail, everyone can see my screen, correct? Okay, so, all right. So over here, this is a webinar funnel. So if you see here, what happens is people come in, they can opt in, they give me their name and email address, okay? After they opt in, what happens is they watch a webinar, okay? So essentially this webinar is basically going to show them the power of what a funnel is, okay? What am I doing here, guys? I am educating the prospect, yes or no? If you don't know what a funnel is, and I spend 1, 2 hours, 10 hours with you, and I tell you every single thing about a funnel, will you now have a lot more trust with me? Yes or no? If I now show you, hey, this is what I do, I've hosted, there's actually Glenda, there you go, there's Glenda. Okay, if I now share with you, you know, I'm going to show you the power of webinars, I'm going to show you the power of this, blah, blah, blah. And then I said, okay, now what you need to do is, if you want your own funnel, then go ahead and book a phone call with my team. Okay. Now, if I said this to you, okay, let me just stop sharing screen. And then I said, okay, now book a phone call. Now, if you book a phone call, then my team will help you have your own products. So what we did is we created one offer, one webinar, and it produced $3 million in sales. Okay, and it was for a digital program, digital service for my agency. Okay, the profit margin on that was probably around 80% or so. I did the work once, I got paid for a long, long time. Does that make sense, you guys? If you don't have a webinar right now, then this is something that you guys want to have in. Okay, and what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to stop sharing my screen. I'm going to continue with sharing the other funnels tomorrow. Okay, so we're gonna keep the juicy stuff for day 3. Has this been valuable for you guys? Yeah, so we're gonna keep that because I also want to respect everyone's time. We have gone on for a while. I have to actually also go and pray before I go to sleep, so I don't want to delay any of those things. So I am going to say, 1, thank you so much for being here. 2, we're going to wrap it up, and 3, I'll spend maybe 5 or 10 minutes doing some Q&A, especially with the VIP members that's here. So Mikey, we can stop the streaming now. And with that being said, guys, I am excited and I'll see you guys tomorrow.